Welcome to Super Movie Brothers. Let's start the show.
This is a podcast on the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.
Welcome to Super Movie Brothers, episode 100. 100. Me and Jay have been around for 2 fucking years.
Yes.
And there's some new people every week, which is the best thing about podcasting, is seeing your statistics, things trending up, more people listening, more people buying into whatever the fuck we do here.
We love you.
Yeah, I mean, we
it's fantastic.
So episode 100 is going to go a little bit differently than other episodes that we've done. Most of the time, we have some movies to talk about. We got some things to discuss. This time, man, it is only talking about you guys, the fans, and us, the
show itself.
Yeah, I mean, this is really just a celebration of the show. So if you're looking for a movie review, it's not happening. If you're looking for Jay's Indie Corner, maybe next time. You know, if you're looking for a beer review, yeah, we got you.
We're a movie beer podcast.
We got
right?
you.
Yeah.
But
trailer parks, news. Wait until next episode.
Yeah. And instead of doing like a big main segment on like a director or a top 5 or a movie review, dude, our main segment, it's gonna be a game show. We got 2 friends that are going to join us. We got fun. Shampoo from the Luke Quest podcast, and we got Hawaiian rapper Italian joining us. We're going to have a lot of fun doing a game show where we are going to, well, not we, I'm going to play host. And my 3 guests, including Jay, will be guessing the film title based on its foreign title, which is going to be a lot of fun.
It sounds like a game rigged against me.
Jay, all games are rigged against you. Even,
of course, why not?
You know, we are now on our 10th episode of
Bring on the challenge.
We just wrapped with our 10th episode of Movie Cocktail. That came out for Masters of the Universe. Still so sad that won. But that game was rigged against you. I mean,
it definitely is.
I won that one. The last game that we did last year for our anniversary, which was Never Have I Liked It, was rigged against you. Even like, and the best part was, it wasn't even me who rigged it against you. It was John, who is now the co-host of Who Spiked the Puns with
everyone's
Fuzzy
just
Dan.
Conspiring against me.
It's because you just don't have the Twitter presence, man. Like if you were more,
I have zero presence.
The best part is for the Podfix Network, which me and Jay are a part of. I'm the one that does most of the contact with the Podfixers. We did invite Jay into the private chat once, and he texted me and he goes, "Too much. I can't do this."
Oh, there's way too much.
No
offense, you guys. I mean, I love you all, but like it was just one of those things where like that's just not me.
So picture how I am to Jay on the show. You know, how I treat him like shit, how I put him down, how I step on his head before I'd ever pick him up, and then picture 10 other people doing that to me.
I would have no phone battery left. Like it just like my phone's constantly blowing up. It's too much.
I just picture Jay like after a few days in the Podfix chat, he was laying in his bed. When Cameron was in Egypt's land, let my Cameron. He just turned into Cameron. He's like, why am I alive? Why am I here? Why can't I do this?
Oh God.
Oh man. So we've done 100 episodes.
We did.
It's been a lot of fun.
It has.
And we're gonna keep going.
It's flown by. It really has. To be honest, I think.
I don't want to lie to people because I know a lot of people like listen to podcasts and it's like I could do that and it's like 100% you fucking can do this. Anybody can do this. You just have to find a topic that you're passionate about and you just got to put yourself out there.
Just know that it's a lot more work than you're actually expecting it to be.
That's exactly what I was going to get into. Yeah. Like it's not just that like me and Jay love movies and we do a podcast where we talk about movies. Like there's a lot of things that go into it. When we first started way back in episode 1, we had ideas and I think you can see the show that we are now in there. However, the equipment wasn't there. The quality wasn't there.
That was a big change. Yeah.
I don't think our personalities were there. I don't think we were really comfortable with our personalities on air and what we were going to be doing. I think I'm a whole lot meaner to you on the show now than I ever was then, because I respected you more. But after spending more time with you doing the show, I respect you a whole lot less.
I don't blame you. It's normally what happens. That's why I'm still single.
Which is why like you have succeeded in making me proud of you this year, because you've taken some real strides in your life. Not which is stuff that we've chronicalized on the show and stuff, but like you're growing as a human being. It took you 30 years to do it, but
baby steps.
Baby steps.
We're baby steps.
We're getting there. And but I mean, like that's the type of stuff that like people listen to. Like they listen to us talk about that stuff. They listen to us, and it's like describe parts of our lives. Like we're only telling them the parts that we want them to hear, but like we get into the nitty gritty of some shit sometimes.
Well, look about it. I mean, everybody who's listening to us knows that we are rather uncensored. Two very good friends who just love movies, each other, and beer. And just having fun and just talking about it and shooting the shit. And that's really all we wanted to do in the first place. And that's what we are still doing and what we still want to do going forward is just have that kind of sensibility and just have fun with it and go with that towards in the future.
So, I mean, just even thinking of that, like where we've come from. So like for those of you who don't know, and I know I've mentioned on the show, but we may have some new listeners who don't know this, like we currently do a monthly episode, which is Movie Cocktail Podcast, where we are joined by Rob from Fan Film Boys and Mark from Cult Movie Cult, and they help us break down a film and make original cocktails for it. We each select a film for a category, we put a poll up on Twitter, people vote on it, etc., etc. But most people might not know that was our original show. Before we were doing Super Movie Brothers, we had an original show that was called Movie Cocktail. It lasted 13 episodes. The first couple episodes were me and Jay and my good friend Kenny and Mark from Cult Movie Cult, but he wasn't a podcast host yet. Then we lost Mark. Then we lost Kenny. Then it was just me and Jay carrying this torch, and we were just like, why are we doing this? Because it was exhausting to make a new cocktail every other week. Jay was making a cocktail. I was making a cocktail. Jay was making, and we were putting up just two films on it was a 50-50 shot. Your movie was going to get picked.
And we were essentially watching the whole movie and talking without cuts.
Also, it was a commentary podcast. Yes. So we discussed the film while it was on, and we did the commentary for it. And it was just, it just became something that I was just like, I'm not passionate about this. I'm passionate about the films we're watching. I'm passionate about the drinks that we're making, but I'm really not passionate about the format. But I never wanted to let that idea go. So sometime around episode 50-ish or 60-ish of Super Movie Brothers, I decided we had a great idea once. Bring it the fuck back. Let's do this. And, we wound up doing it and making it part of the show. And it's probably the one thing that we can do that stands us apart from other movie podcasts, because other movie podcasts, there's a ton of other movie podcasts. Jay only listens to professional podcasts. His Colliders, his Screen
as far
Rants,
as movie, IndieWire,
IndieWire.
That's pretty much it, though.
Jay doesn't listen to indie podcasts, but I do, and there's a lot of movie podcasts out there with two guys talking about X movie, drinking, Y beer, and discussing that as well. There's a lot of those out there. But the thing that we can do that's creative, at least for me, it's my most creative outlet that we do, are the movie cocktails, because I get to cut together original intros, and I'm basically cutting a trailer when I do those without the pictures. I get to help create cocktails. I don't make all of them, but I get to make some of them. And we have a ton of fun doing it, and that's the only thing we ever want to bring to people is fun and our passion and
maybe some insight for you guys who have not seen these films yet, or maybe have seen these films and just like to listen to us talk and rant about it.
Absolutely. And that's all we've been doing for 100 episodes. But some people have found it and they've really enjoyed it. And I just really want to thank every single listener that we have now, have ever had, or may have again, who find this episode. When me and you were doing episode 200, they might go back and listen to episode 100 and hear this. Thank you. Just
Thank you
for being here. So normally this is where me and Jay would start getting into catching up with one another and going over some of the fun stuff that we did this week. However, we're going to forego that because with this being episode 100, it's already going to run extremely longer than normal. So we apologize for that. So without any further ado, we and Jay are just going to get right on over into your Ask Me Anythings. Now it's time to get into some of our listener and friends questions. So, Jay, the first one comes from someone who's very close to you and I. I'd like to think she's closer to me, but, sometimes she might be closer to you.
Sometimes.
This comes from my wife, Lauren. She saw our post on Twitter and your post on Facebook and was like, you know what? I'm going to ask them guys some questions. So she's got 3 questions for us that she would like us to answer. So the first one is, if you could switch 2 movie characters, what switch would lead to the most inappropriate movies? First off, if you're listening, hun, which I know you're not, fucking good question.
It is.
It's a deep question. I feel like she Googled that.
Like a little too good.
She Googled that. She's like, what questions to ask
movie podcasters? It made me
podcasters?
think a little too hard. Yeah.
All right, Jay, what is yours, man? What do you got?
I'm actually going with Will Ferrell and Casablanca.
All right, so taking out Humphrey Bogart and putting Will Ferrell in there?
Or no, I think that's right.
Picture Will Ferrell just going, here's looking at you, kid. And like finding some reason to scream.
Or he'll like wink and like just like completely ruin the whole thing and like he'll make it tongue in cheek or something like that.
Right.
But either way, like I think
so Casablanca.
I mean, there's so many infinite things out there.
Casablanca.
But for me, this was hard. I just went with it.
Casablanca directed by Todd Phillips, starring Will Ferrell.
Right, exactly.
And Tina Fey is
yes, the girl.
Yeah, that would be completely inappropriate and just not work, man.
Right.
All right. So mine is taking Sidney Poitier out of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and inserting Kevin Hart. And just turning it into every Kevin Hart film that's been out for the past 3 years.
God, I love it.
Exactly what it would be.
I love it.
It would be like that type of embarrassment humor. It would be like, him getting into situations trying to get, and then of course he would be doing like the really loud, like screaming voice that he does when he's like, when he's anxious or nervous, when his character's anxious.
His eyes bulge out. Like, it just kills me. It kills me every time.
So that's my pick for that. All right, Jay. Lauren's second question is, what old person thing do you do?
Initially, the only thing that constantly comes to me is I cross my legs a lot.
That's it?
Yeah, I was trying.
That's not an old person thing, dude.
No, but like
you have
like a girl across the leg kind of thing, and that like a guy crosses his leg kind of thing. Like I do like the whole like
guy crosses
thing.
Their legs, ankle resting on knee. Girl crosses it, knee resting over knee.
Exactly. I knee rest over knee, which is like an older guy thing.
No, dude, Jay, you have so many, and the listeners don't hear this because they don't have to edit this show and cut it out. You do so many old man things right on the microphone. Well,
I do. That's my uncle. I get that from my uncle. Absolutely. I clear my throat all the time.
Also, the other thing you do, which is something my grandfather used to do. Welp.
See, okay. So initially, all right. I'm not gonna. I'll admit it right now. My voice and mouth mannerisms are definitely old.
You might as well.
But I didn't know how to specify that because there's so many of them. There's not just one. There's so many of them. They're so nuanced.
I mean, for me, what's the old person thing I do? I complain about aches and pains like they're the end of the world. No, I mean, so like I've been running a little bit lately and stuff like that, and I've been like complaining of like plantar fasciitis. Like my right foot after a run, if I sit for 20 minutes, fucking kills me. Like it hurts.
But you also sit on your fucking foot.
Right. So like, but then I'll complain about it. And like Lauren will always remind me, she's just like, men are the biggest fucking babies. When you're sick, you complain more than women do.
It's true.
When you have a fever, you complain more. When you have an ache and a pain, you complain more than women do. Blah, blah, blah. And like, so like lately, I've just been walking around the house, just like limping sometimes after a run. And like, she'll be like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. No, nothing. But like before that, complaining about something was like, you know, it was the end of the world. Like,
Right.
Men are very dramatic in that way.
I know I am.
So
it's true.
So I would say that's my old thing is like as I'm getting older. Also, I found, which is like super weird, and I found this when we were going to the wedding a couple weeks ago. If you look on my right cheek, it looks like there's a patch of my beard that isn't growing in. Well, I got real worried, man, because that's a sign of low T and also testicular cancer. And as people know, if they listen to live stream for the cure, I'm a big proponent of checking yourself for breast cancer, testicular cancer, stuff like that. So I immediately got worried. And when I looked real close, Jay, what I found out was, and I'm not missing hair there. It's not a patch. It's gray hair. It's white hair. It's coming in white.
Welcome to my fucking world.
Yeah, Jay, but yours comes in evenly on the side of your head.
No, it doesn't. No. My facial hair is patchy as shit.
Yeah, but that's
For the last 4 or 5 years, it started in the facial hair, and I actually talked to my barber, and he was like, "Look, that just sometimes." He was saying all kinds of stuff about pigmentation and like how sometimes it comes back, and some of it did, but a lot of it is just straight up white hair now. And it does happen out of the blue very, very rapidly and very quickly.
It's weird because it's just that one spot on my face. And
well, it's going to continue.
Ugh, terrible. All right. So now, Jay, if someone narrated your life, who would you want to be the narrator?
I'm going to go with Anthony Bourdain.
That's only because he just died, man. Come on. Come on.
But, you know, I know because it came it was today, unfortunately, rest in peace. I always respected the guy, but I also really loved his voice and the way he talked. And I kind of feel like it would be pretty cool. Other than that, you know, someone who's living still, I think I'd want you.
Me? Oh, God. That'd be terrible for you.
I know it would. But I think that would just be perfect for it.
Imagine me in your head. I thought you would say like Emma Thompson, like how she did for like, you know.
No.
Okay.
I think I'd want you.
Okay.
I've always loved your voice. So
for me, mine would be Frank Oz in the voice of Yoda. Just the whole time, narrating my life.
Wow. That would get really annoying. After a while.
Cup of coffee he grabbed, did he? Pouring it in. Drinking it down. Full of energy was he after a cup of coffee. To work he goes.
It's too much.
All the while he looked away. Never his mind on where he was. What he was doing. Frank Oz as Yoda would be mine. Now, if I had an inner manliness and an inner conscience and someone who told me what to do, it'd be Harrison Ford. He would just be like, well, you know what you gotta do. You gotta get around.
I don't blame you.
All right. So this one comes from Derek Lewis. He sent us this via email. Thank you, Derek. Other than my wife, you are the only other person who sent us the questions via email. He asked, what is the worst cocktail you've created while experimenting with drinks for the show? So, Jay, what's the worst cocktail, man?
I think for me, it's actually the latest one.
Yeah?
My first incarnation of the Masters of the Universe cocktail, which I dubbed the Key.
The key, Gwildor.
I was trying to marriage gin and bourbon, and it would not work.
No, dude.
That's all I'll say.
And we explained it.
And we both hate gin. So it was one of those things where I had this fucking idea. I don't know where it came from, but I had this idea that possibly could work, and I went for it, and it failed.
So I think for me, it's an early version of the McCready's Blood Test Martini. which originally had a whole lot more gin in it before I started adding vodka in it to really kill it and really sweetened it up and stuff like that.
Right.
If I could go back, the blood test martini, because I'm not a big fan of vodka, would be 100% made of vodka instead of gin. I even put like in the recipe, alternate versions use good
Gin
vodka.
might be banned from this show.
No, Jay, that was literally what I was going to say. Because of this question made me think about it. There's a moratorium on gin in movie cocktail until we can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, sorry, Deadpool.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, just like martini,
Okay,
shaken,
Ryan
not
Reynolds.
stirred, with gin. That's the only way to drink gin, and it's just like,
Well-
or if you're a big gin fan, drinking it straight. Like I feel like those are
Yeah.
the only ways to really enjoy
Yeah,
gin.
yeah.
It's a very tough drink to mix with other
I think
flavors
that's
and balance
why
out.
all gin cocktails that you ever hear of is there's not much else in it.
No.
It's very minimal ingredients.
You got to be a fan of gin. You got to let gin be the star, and if you're not a fan of gin, then it's gonna suck.
Yeah,
That's
we
it.
don't like it. So.
All right, next question. What is the best tasting quick drunk drink that you can think of? Bonus points if you can make it low calories for when budgeting on drunkenness versus your waistline. And Jay, I have a perfect answer for this, but I want you to answer first. What's your answer for this? Best drink?
I'm actually gonna go with what you don't like is a vodka soda with a lime and splash of cranberry.
Jay, how would you like to suck any drink down via 0 calories?
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Get you just as drunk. So, first off, we all know that you can take shots of anything into your eye, into your ass, and up your nose. Literally anything with a mucous membrane on your body can absorb alcohol and get you drunk. So that technically would be 0 calories. However, all of it sounds dangerous and don't do any of it. Period.
Don't.
There's another mucous membrane that's inside you that isn't as easily accessible. It's your lungs, Jay. Your lungs, you've smoked before. I've been a smoker before. You absorb, chemicals through your lungs. You can smoke alcohol. Take a cork and take a bicycle pump. Shove the needle of the bicycle pump into the cork. Put the cork into the bottle of what you want to drink. Force air into it. Once you pop that cork, the smoke that's there, breathe that in.
No way.
Alcohol into your body, 0 calories ingested. Drunk just the same.
But how drunk?
Pretty drunk, man.
Holy shit, where'd you come up with this?
I've decided that as a Patreon episode, me and you are going to smoke alcohol.
Oh, fuck me.
We're going to do a beer review where we smoke beer instead of
hope-
drinking it. We're going to start shitty and we're going to
I
go
hope
high
no
class.
family members are listening. I'll do it. I'm in.
But apparently it does get you fucked up.
Oh, I
quicker.
bet it does.
So, Derek Lewis, this is not an endorsement for you to do that. Apparently professionals have tried it and they suggest that you don't try it at home. So I want to remind you not to do that.
But
I
keep
repeat-
listening.
I repeat, so your lawyer listens to this episode. Don't
Do not.
do that. But
This
that
is
is
not endorsed by Super Movie Bros podcast.
But that is apparently a 0 calorie way to get drunk. You can absorb alcohol through any mucous membrane, ass, eye, nose, lung. All right. Jay, next question comes from Drew Hallam from the Real Feels podcast. That's at Real, REEL Feels on Twitter. He says, what was your favorite toy as a kid?
this is going to be really corny. It's actually going to be my little toy lawnmower.
That's super corny. Don't even elaborate. No one wants to know anything else. You fucking weirdo.
Thank you.
Your favorite toy was when you were 3. Thanks. My daughter gets bored pushing the fucking fake lawnmower outside.
I still love mowing lawns. I'm sorry. I just
See you tomorrow
It
at
is
10
what it is.
a.m., pal. You can do the back lawn. I'll do the front lawn. We'll be good. All right. So mine is the Ghostbusters. I think it's Mattel Proton Pack. I loved that thing. I loved wearing that Proton Pack. I loved, pretending I was a Ghostbuster. Ghostbusters was like my favorite fucking shit when I was a kid. So it was my Ghostbusters Proton Pack. That was my favorite toy. What is the biggest accomplishment you've seen in your shows since the beginning? Jay, do you even know any of our accomplishments, or do I have to share them all
honestly,
with you?
I'm just gonna gloat on you. I just think for more than anything, it's just you and watching you evolve into this master podcast aficionado.
I think for me, it's
In my
this,
mind, in
it's
my
this
eyes.
right now, 100 episodes. It's 100 episodes. Like,
Yeah,
because I mean, mean, you've been on text message with me where I was like, fuck it, we're done. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I watched numbers go up. I've watched numbers go down. I don't know what we're doing wrong. And I've just been like, fuck this. I don't even want to do this shit no more. But I think like sticking it out and really finding our groove was when we were in a rut.
But the fact that we were on for 100 episodes and made it and really just staying true with ourselves, finding and still being us, and not having any kind of problems with it.
Waiting for like-minded people to find our show and enjoy it. I mean, and that's what I always want to like stress to like any podcaster is. It's just like, you can't go out there and be like so-and-so's podcast because so-and-so's podcast does it their way. You got to go out there
and nobody's going to want that.
And even if your show is similar to their show, the one thing that you bring that's different is you. And it takes time for like-minded people to find you and to find the show that you're doing and to really jive with you and stuff like that. And the fans will come. And it's not like, when I say fans, it's not like me and Jay we're the fucking Beatles setting foot on America for the first time when you had fucking Sullivan's show. That's not what we're saying. But like, we have some listeners that listen to us regularly. Some of them are friends and we talk to them on a regular basis. Some of them are anonymous people who listen to us while driving to work. I like seeing our numbers go up, but in reality, just making it this far is the biggest accomplishment that we've
Absolutely.
done.
I love that.
All right, Jay, his next question is there anything about your show that you would do away with? What's one thing on our show, Jay, that you would like to get rid of?
The amount of time that Dave has to edit. Because it's ungodly. It's a lot.
It only goes up. It only goes up. And it continues going up.
And the more and more you do it, the more and more of a perfectionist you are, and the more and more time you put into it.
True.
And I just see the strain of that, and I hate that.
And believe me, I don't produce a perfect show because there is a breaking point where I go, you know what, fuck it, it's as good as I can make it right now.
Absolutely.
Given my schedule, this is what I'm producing.
What about you, Dave?
For me, it would be to get rid of you. Because that would severely reduce my editing time. Done. No.
Sure.
I'm just kidding.
That's absolutely true.
I'm just kidding.
I don't blame you.
I would like to cut out some things you say, like bioptic. I know you're trying to say biopic. We always say bioptic. And I'm just like, God damn it. Does this movie have two eyes?
You do have sensitive ears.
I do. I do. And I always like laugh at it. And it's like, no, it's your little idioms and your mannerisms that I would like to get rid of sometimes. Like when I'm editing and I hear you say something, I'm like, wait a minute. And sometimes I will rewind that sentence for Lauren. No, I'll be honest. Most of the time you catch yourself and you immediately repeat yourself in the next sentence, just in a more human and English, structured sentence way.
Right. That sounds like me. Okay.
Yeah. But like, there's a lot of times where you'll be like, and and then like they did this and then that, and no, I'm sorry. Like, you have a great way of just like saying the
catching myself.
Yeah, of saying the wrong thing, and then I'm just like, wait a minute, and not wrong thing like politically incorrect thing, but just like wrong thing where it's like, no, none of those words made sense, even in the same sentence. Like none of that's good, and then like you correct yourself,
That's
and I'm
how
like,
my brain operates.
But usually, like what I gotta do, it's like, well, now that's 30 seconds I gotta cut out to get to Jay's nugget of truth inside there. So the next question is, who would be the best guest to have on, in your opinion?
I feel like we're going to have the same answer.
Nobody.
Oh.
That's my answer.
I put Kevin Smith.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's good.
No, the reason why I put Kevin Smith on is because I feel like he is the kind of guy that, of anybody who's of substance, wouldn't mind coming on our show.
Yeah.
But at the same time would still fit our world and fit us, in a conversational piece.
I mean, that's cool.
He would kind of ball hog it for sure because he's such a talker.
So am I.
Right.
I wouldn't let him. Not gonna happen.
It'd be interesting. But I think for me, I think that would be if somebody that people know of, he would be the best marriage kind of fit into the show.
That would be great. But the way I took this question was like as like an interview, because a lot of podcasts do interviews with like different people and stuff like that. And I feel like that's not who we are. We don't do interviews. We don't bring people on and interview them about their acting roles, the movies, the roles, like things like that. So having Kevin Smith on as like a guest to discuss something, absolutely. as just like, he's on, friend of the show, whatever. He's not, and never probably will be. But like having him on to like discuss something, that's one thing. But like we would never do interviews on this show because it's not who we are. I would love to do interviews of people possibly for a different show, but just not us, because I don't feel like
maybe
that's
even a
not what we do.
Patreon episode. But we'll see. We've had discussions about that. Like, for example, when I went to that film premiere, I met some people and I thought about doing some interviews, but at the same time, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like us. It didn't feel like it would quite fit the show. So we dismissed it. But it was one of those things where we were throwing out ideas. And it just didn't work out.
We've gone 100 episodes without doing interviews. I'm not going to start doing interviews on the show now. I'm going to have to start doing interviews in some other way, in some other medium, because I do like doing interviews. But it's just obviously I talk too much to interview people for our show. I can't railroad people that you want to hear the answer of. That's my answer. Epic Film Guys Nick, man. Good friend of a show, one of my best friends that I have in podcasting, really a guy who, I'm not going to say took me under his wing and showed me the ropes, but really gave me encouragement at times when I need it. Has 3 questions for us. He has one for you, one for me, and one for both of us. So the one that's for both of us is, what breweries would you love to visit in 2018 that you've never visited before?
For me, it would be Trogues Brewery.
Okay.
In Hershey, PA. It's something I've always heard that it's very, very nice. The food is really great. The place is great. They do a lot of good merch. They do a good tour. And I just heard good things about it. So I know it's a little bit of a drive for us. Not that bad, but even still, it's very manageable. And
Been there, done that.
I know you have. But for me, it's definitely one of those places where it's kind of like, for me, I have to get there at some point this year.
For me, it is actually a smaller brewery, Ship Bottom Brewing Company. My dad went there last year, got me and you 2 crowlers from there that we reviewed on the show. We both love them. They now have canned products that are out there. And me and you have done 2 more reviews for them on the show. And it's on Long Beach Island. I didn't grow up on Long Beach Island. However, in the summer, my grandmother lived in Tuckerton, New Jersey. We used to spend a lot of time there. Long Beach Island was the beach I went to as a kid. I know it's where I got my boating license. It's where I learned to swim in the ocean. It's where I learned to body surf. It's where I had a lot of fun. I love Long Beach Island, New Jersey. So, Ship Bottom Brewing Company, man, because
cool. I've never been there before, but
it just equals like fun on the beach, stepping off the beach, going in, getting a flight, going back out, having a lot of fun. So I just really want to do that this year.
And also, Nick asked, what one thing would you like to see in Star Wars Episode 9? For me, just more good surprises. And for the storyline lineage and everything like that. I mean, I'm not a Star Wars nut. This is more of a question for you, Dave. And I'll let you take it.
Twofold for me. Answer. First off, I want to see Jar Jar Binks come back as the ultimate Sith Lord, because Darth Jar Jar was a thing. No, I'm kidding. Really, what I want to see is, I do not, because of the arc that they've set up, I do not want to see Kylo revert to good. I do not want to see that happen. I really think leaving him as the villain, leaving him as this fallen ally of Luke's.
I agree.
It really would bring Luke's story full circle. It really would bring Rey's story full circle.
But what about Han Solo?
If he turns to good, I mean, it doesn't matter. Han Solo,
Princess Leia, because like.
It doesn't. No. Hold on. Han Solo did for Kylo what he set out to do.
Okay.
He stopped the fractured mind of Kylo. Kylo had 1 foot in good, 1 foot in evil. He was still Ben. He was still Kylo. By killing his father, he ended that pain, and he fully became Kylo Ren.
Okay. So I respect that. That's fine.
So Han Solo's story came to an end there, and his influence over Kylo came to an end there. All he wanted to do was stop his son from having pain, and he did that. But yeah, Kylo turning good. I don't want to see that. I want to make sure Kylo stays. I want to see how far Kylo can sink. Like, really. I want to see how far he can go. Jay, your question was, describe your ideal movie date.
This is hard for me, and I feel bad, Nick, because I'm going to give a kind of a corny answer, but honestly, I really usually prefer to go to movies alone. I guess mostly because I mostly go to movies alone anyway. But I used to go out with my my late grandmother a lot in a lot of movies. I thought that would be suited for something that she may like, but she was always a lot of fun. And the classic annoying patron with the loud snacks and the loud whispers and all that kind of fun stuff that would drive me crazy.
You're like the first guy who brought his mom on the red carpet. Like, you know,
I am that kind of guy.
Your ideal movie date could be I get a Hummer in the back.
But honestly, I don't do dates at movie theaters. I mean, I've done one in high school and that was it, and that turned out to be a nice, fun sexual espionage. But no, I mean, but really, honestly,
what's an espionage?
I don't know. Expedition.
Experience?
I'm not sure. Experience?
Sexual experience?
Experience is probably the best word.
Espionage.
Yeah.
You mixed experience and espionage together.
It started from the top level of the seats and worked away down to that little shady tunnel, like hallway. And then
Jay had sticky fingers.
Yeah.
And watched them as soon as he got home for eating dinner.
Honestly, I am not a movie day person.
I'm really sad that we talked about your grandmother who unfortunately passed away this past year. And then I had to mention sticky fingers in the same sentence. God, what is wrong with me? God, I am like, what is wrong with me as a person?
It's okay, Dave. It was 2 years ago.
So the next two questions come from Paul from the Countdown Pod, which, God, Paul, thanks for writing in, man. Because on his 100th episode, you might remember that I did a roast of Paul and Wayne, and I sent it over to them, which they played on their 100th episode. So it's fun that Paul wrote in here and kind of fucked with us a little bit, which is great. So Paul wants to know, how many notches on Jay's bedhead does he need before he'll settle down with a nice girl of an appropriate age?
I'm thinking 69. 69 is a good number.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I would think you're close to that by now, right?
I really am.
Might have surpassed.
It was kind of ironic. No, it didn't surpass, but it's getting close.
It's amazing that you can remember, man.
I don't. I have like a 5 buffer. I don't. It's in the 60s, low 60s.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's still way up there. But guys, it sounds bad, and women, it sounds bad. But think about it. 34 years old, mostly single his whole life. One relationship was 2 years. The second longest was 6 months. Think about it. Do the math.
What would you say is
the math.
What would you say is a good year for you? 5 women, 6 women, 10 women? What's a good year?
I don't know. The funny thing is too, like I've turned down a lot. I fucked up a lot with not having condoms, not in the mood.
Well, congratulations for you for saying no for not having condoms. God knows how many baby shorts would be out there umming and lip smacking on microphones.
No, it's true.
If it wasn't for you turning it down. All right. Paul.
I really don't know.
Paul also wants to know, which film does your co-host hate that you love, which infuriates you the most? That is one for both of us.
I guess I'm gonna go with Memento. I had a difficult time trying to think about that.
It came out on the show last week on episode 99 while someone picked Memento for their Australian actors film. It's not that I hate Memento, it's that I feel like it gets far too much credit than it really deserves.
Did you see it later? When it was already hyped up and then you went into it, or did you find it? Because I found this way early.
I saw this probably somewhere around like 2004, 2005. So how far is that after its release? This came out like...
I feel like maybe 4 or 5 years afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. I that's a respectable amount of time after.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it was one of those things where like people had told me how great it was and stuff like that. It came out in 2000.
I guess it depends on how much hype you hear leading into it. It doesn't really matter about the date. Like you can not hear about a movie and it's been like 20 years, but all it takes is one person to overhype the shit out of a movie to like alter your perception.
They were film buff friends and stuff like that who recommended it to me and told me like how great it was and stuff like that. And I went and saw it and like I liked it. I mean, like I enjoyed it. So when I say I hate it, like I what I'm really saying is like I hate the attention that it gets. Like I hate when people are like, God, Memento is amazing. And it's like, it's really not amazing. It's really good. It's not amazing. No, stop fucking sucking its dick. But
for the time, It's the first of its kind.
I guess. I don't know.
When you think about it.
But at that point, I probably saw, I probably saw Traffic at that point. I probably saw like other films that have played with that timeline aspect and stuff like that.
But I was also my other option was Vanilla Sky. I feel like Vanilla Sky.
I don't hate Vanilla Sky.
Does not get enough discussion out there in the movie world because it is an extreme conversation piece that only improves in multiple viewings.
It's a conversation I don't want to have with you.
Well, it's something. It's a big conversation.
For me, it's Evil Dead 2. Everyone saw that on our first movie homework when Jay had to watch Evil Dead 2, and I can't figure out what in the fuck is wrong with Jay that he doesn't know how to shut off his brain and just have fun sometimes.
Yes.
It's because you got into films late and you cherry picked the best, man. That's like
it is, and I still do, and it's true, and and honestly, it's only going to work more into my wheelhouse because there's too much content out there in the world right now because I have to do that even more now.
It's like going to an orchard and picking the fruit from the tree at the top, and you're like, blame me, Dave? It'll ripen.
But that's the thing, Dave. Like, can you blame me? And then we were having conversations about that last summer where, they were, your sister, Kim, like she was saying, you're right. If you look at that movie now as a first time viewer, you're going to have a different kind of perception and a different kind of love for it or a different kind of hatred for it, whatever it may be. But it's a definite different perception.
It's still your fault for not seeing it sooner.
Okay, fair enough.
Two Girls on a Bench podcast wants to know, what movie do you secretly love but are ashamed to admit to? Also, congrats on the big 100. So thanks, Two Girls on a Bench.
Thank you so much. I hate your question. It is something I feel like I should have had a little bit more time thinking about, but I'm going to go with a real wild card option. I think I've probably never even heard of. It's called Elizabethtown.
Oh yeah, with Orlando Bloom.
Cameron Crowe. I'm surprised you actually know about it.
I've seen it. I hate it.
Good.
I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah, it's a Cameron Crowe film.
It was not good.
You're right.
He returns.
It was initially underwhelming.
Right. He meets the stewardess on the plane, right, or waitress on a train as he's going to Elizabethtown, where his father had just recently died,
and he just fucked up his whole big Nike-esque kind of company with a bad design of shoe, and he needs to kind of find himself. And
God,
also,
I hated that movie. You're right. You should be ashamed for liking that.
Right? But I don't know.
Is it just Orlando Bloom that you liked?
Maybe. I think it might have been Orlando Bloom and Kirsten Dunst and the music and just being a Cameron Crowe fan at the moment. I think that's what it is.
I think when I saw that film, it was like
definitely a guilty pleasure.
For me, I saw that film and I went like,
and it has a fucking full Freebird goddamn song sequence. So I love Freebird. That's another guilty pleasure thing right there. Boom. Mic drop.
Jay, so does Devil's Rejects.
Yes, and I love that too. That was even better sequence.
So for
Guns blazing.
For me, Elizabethtown was like, I think I saw that after Garden State, so I was like, Garden State did all of this and it did it better. So fuck,
that's true.
Fuck Elizabethtown. For me, mine is a lot of romantic comedies that star Matthew McConaughey.
Number one is 10. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah,
that's the best one.
I don't know what it is, man. I think it's because, like, again, this goes back to like watching movies with my mom. Like, I watched a lot of movies with my mom. It's where I got a lot of my action movies from. It's where I got a lot of a lot of Star Wars and Indiana Jones and things that I love today. But also, watching movies with your mom will also get you watching some romantic comedies at times.
My mom's huge with that,
and I learned to really enjoy them. It's weird; they are a formulaic process that, like, if you're having a bad day and you watch a romantic comedy, the fact that it's so formulaic just kind of feels comforting. Where it's just like, I know where this is going. I like this.
It's comfort food.
Yeah, it's going.
Really what
it's going where I need it to go right now because I don't want any surprises. Because guess what? Life just shit on my face.
Right.
So I need something.
And there's always a happy ending.
Something that makes sense to me. So yeah, romantic comedies, anything with Matthew McConaughey, especially. All right. So Dan from Netflix and Swill, Jay, you can't answer this one.
Oh, yeah.
It's about you. So if you were to dress Jay before a Tinder date, would you be a bro and dress him like a normal human, or would you dress him like you're trying to make his date flee in terror? So I wouldn't intentionally try to dress him like I wanted his date to flee in terror. However, I do feel like at times Jay needs a little bit more edge. So like if you walk into any type of store and you go into the adult male section and you look at a picture of a guy with his head slightly tilted back, laughing, wearing a shirt that fits him perfectly and pants that are just slightly low-rised enough to make you go, I could see. Yeah. All right. You know, that is Jay. That's the way Jay dresses. It is the most vanilla thing that you could possibly see. So probably what I would do is I wouldn't ask Jay to dress like me. That's ridiculous. I dress like me because I like the shirts I wear. I get a kick out of it, stuff like that. But Jay once met me and my wife at a punk rock club. In his full golf gear, and boy howdy did he stand out.
Oh boy.
People were literally pointing at him and like being like, what? Like, so these are people with piercings in places that you can't see, wearing clothes that look like they got out of the trash, and they're all looking at Jay and like, what's wrong with this dude? This guy's out of place.
I can't remember why I wasn't able to change before I went there, or maybe I just didn't know what I was getting myself into. I'm not really sure.
Don't act like you would have looked any different. Really?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what I wore at the time. But if it was golf clothes, I was probably golfing the day. And I just... It was golf. You did literally just come from golf. Yeah, I probably left and met up with you guys.
Yeah, you left. But so what I would dress you as, Jay, is I would dress you punk rock for a day.
Oh, I'm on board with that.
I would dress you punk rock just for one day.
I got a new leather jacket semi-recently. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. I suggested you get that leather jacket after the night you wore my leather jacket out.
I do love it.
So, yeah. So, no, I would definitely dress you punk rock. And whether that makes her run in terror or not, I don't know. But I do feel like you need to date women with a little bit more personality. That's no offense to any of the women that might be listening to Jay's dated before. Right. Jay can't always keep up with people in conversation, so it's nice if she's there to fill the gaps.
Nicely put.
All right. So Duty from Shaken Not Nerd has another question for me. What kind of blaster does Han Solo use? Fuck you, Duty. So on
laser pointer
on our trailer park for the Solo A Star Wars Story, I said that Han Solo was given his DL-17, which is completely wrong. Han Solo uses a DL-44. I was off by 2 numeric characters. Han Solo uses a DL-44. Thank you very much, Duty. I'll never forget it because of your chastising. I still beat you in Nerd War. Maybe someday for a Patreon episode, I'll have to have Duty come on, have Jay play host, and we will have to do a Nerd War against Duty.
Yes, let's do it.
So this is from Justin Winters from So I Married a Movie Geek, one of our good friends who is also in the Podfix Network, along with Duty from Shaken Not Nerd.
Yep.
He asked, who's your favorite Hollywood grandma and why? And I have a 3-word answer.
Really?
Actually, 4 words.
I literally just went with my first person that came to my mind, Susan Sarandon. Okay. Just because she's so fucking sexy and
it's weird that you went there. You associated grandmother with sexy. We need to get you on the couch. We need to have a session.
Okay. Sit me down.
Mine is Estelle Getty, and the answer to that is Golden Girls. Duh. Estelle Getty, Golden Girls.
Next.
Would I sleep with her? No. Would Jay fuck Susan Sarandon? Probably.
Yeah.
All right, so pitch the next 50 Shades movie. Have it involve Jay in some way. Jay, this is not a question for you.
No.
This is a question, and it comes up when eventually, I can't remember her name, Bella or something Steele. I know her last name's Steele. Anastasia Steele gets bored somewhere in their mid-40s, and they begin swinging, and they go to a swingers club, and Jay, they pick up you, buddy. But Anastasia's tired of playing the submissive. She wants to know what it's like to feel the dominant. So her and I can't remember his name. What's the guy's name?
Christian.
So her and Christian play the dom to you, and you're chained up, and all sorts of things are put in your ass, man.
I'm not the submissive type, David, but I guess this is your movie.
In this story, you are, God damn it. On this podcast, you are, so just play the role in real life, God damn it. All right. All right, so Chris Green from the Gravity Beard podcast. He wants to know, Would you rather eat the same thing the rest of your life or never again eat the same thing twice?
It's a little tricky. I think for me, I'm actually going to go with a new thing every single time. I understand the fact that I'm probably going to be a lot more skinny. So I'll be refusing a lot more food, but at the same time, I mean, we all know, like, eating the same thing over and over again. That's impossible. That's impossible.
But I mean,
terrible.
if you really think about it, like, I love seafood, right? Like I love crab, I love lobster, I love, all different types of fish and stuff like that. But like, if I had to eat, if it wasn't special, like when I got like really good seafood and stuff like that, it would suck. Like if I had to eat it like every day, it would be terrible.
Yeah.
Like I love lobster tail, but I think of Stephen King's The Dark Tower series, where in book 2, Roland is stuck on the beach and he's shooting these things called lobstrosities, and he's shooting them and he's cooking them up, and they're basically giant lobster that he's cooking and eating every night. And like, they just describe how awful eating lobster is, like every night. And I'm like, yeah, that probably is how it would be.
Right.
Like, yeah. Just this like rubbery, leather, buttery meat that you're
even
eating.
If you're like,
even if it's delicious,
even if you're like
tired of it.
Like, I'm thinking of, oh God, wow, I'm actually thinking of Brokeback Mountain, when they're eating beans every fucking night, and like, I'm sick and tired of eating these beans, and like, and this makes sense. They could be the best beans in the world, but at the same time, you're just eating beans nonstop, breakfast, lunch, dinner, every single fucking day, just because it's there.
All right, Jay, let's move on to the next one. Would you rather find out your wife is a serial killer or see her killed by one?
That's so fucking easy.
Now, for me, I'd rather her be the serial killer.
Me too.
As I've said, I'm comfortable with death.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable with death.
I'd be content with marrying a Dexter.
Yeah. I would tell her, I'd be like, look, man, whatever you do, just don't bring it in my fucking house.
Yeah, don't bring it in the house.
Don't give me any details, because when I get caught,
make sure you're safe.
I don't need to answer anything.
Make sure you take a shower before you get into bed. Right. That's all.
Plausible deniability. If they ask me a question and I don't know, I don't have to answer. Fair enough?
I'm good with
Fair enough. Let's move on. He also wants to know, how much money would it take for you to change your name to something bizarre or terrible, a la, for terrible, Hitler?
This is kind of hard, putting a number on it, but I actually chose 500,000. I feel like it's just enough where I feel like I could stay at home.
You could be comfortable.
And I could do something profitable, like as like an online, an in-home kind of job where I can make money if I had that kind of lump of cash on me.
You think small. I think $1 million. I think $1 million, even though it's not a lot today, could go a long way. So my answer is $1 million. But Jay, you get to pick your name in this. So it's not too bad, but it still has to be ridiculous and or horrible. So you do get to pick the name. So, I mean, I would probably think of something absolutely outlandish, like Lucky Loose Lips. Something like that is what I'd name you, by the way. All right. So moving on.
What about Dick Short?
Dick Short. There you go. It's not a change enough. People could people could look at you and be like, that's an unfortunate name that you have. However, it's plausible that you would be named that, Richard Short. So Benjamin Hall at Ripperspot on Twitter asked, should Glenda Farrell be more well known by fans of movies since she, as Torchy Blaine, inspired the creation of Lois Lane? I got an answer for you here, man, and it's no. No. People do not need to know the source material for the creation of a character to like a character, right? Like, if I really like, Boba Fett, I don't need to know that his mask was inspired by centurions from the Roman era or by Spartan helmets and stuff like that, right? Like, I don't need to know that's interesting stuff, but that's a level of fandom that goes a little bit farther than maybe most people are comfortable with or really care about. Also, like, Superman. Just think of Superman. Superman's based off of, in some ways, a lot of Greek mythology and stuff like that. Does that mean to like Superman, I really should get into Greek mythology and stuff like that? No. I mean, if you like Lois Lane, Lane, you like Lois Lane for what she represents in the Superman universe. And, you know, if you want to pay respect to Glenda Farrell for being Torchy Blaine, then, I mean, go right ahead. But in the end, I mean, one does not owe the other. Even if she inspired it, plenty of real people have inspired real characters, and no one knows those real persons' names. So that's really my answer. Nobody owes anybody for anything. So unless Lois Lane was named Torchy Blaine in Superman, they owe nothing to that character. Having a strong female reporter is something that's been repeated in a lot of different mediums and also throughout comics for a long time. So
cool.
All right, next up is Italian. He will be joining us for our contest tonight. He's also a big fan. We're a big fan of his. His first question is, favorite movie cocktail that you've made? Well, I technically didn't solely make the cocktail that's my favorite. But Jay, what's your favorite movie cocktail we've done so far?
I'm honestly not even 100% sure if this is even on the current movie cocktail. Just classic old fashioned.
Nope, that was the very first drink we did for very first episode of the original movie cocktail. We did not make that yet, and we're not going to make that because we don't.
No, we're not.
We don't take existing cocktails and make them. Maybe me and you for a Patreon episode might do a the type of old fashioned that we make and how it's different than a lot of old fashioned.
I'm actually going to go then with the Manhattan, because honestly, it took me a long time. And trying to figure that out, and it's a little bit more up my alley, and it's a sipper. It's nothing special,
Jay,
but
we have
there are a lot of good ones
for
out
bourbon
there.
Fans. We have a Zenith that is out there, just a fucking monolith that stands above a lot of other bourbon cocktails. That is just absolutely delicious, and it was made in conjunction with Mark from Cult Movie Cult. Me and him made this one together. Thorny's Maple Mustache Ride is the number one cocktail that we've made so far. 100%.
It was fantastic.
100%. I mean, we have some good cocktails, man, and a lot of them are delicious. And each of the hosts contributes to each one of them that comes out. But man, really, Thorny's Maple Mustache Ride is probably the most solid one that we have come up with for the show. 100%. All right. He also wants to know, will you guys ever turn this into a YouTube show as well? And that's a double-edged question, because technically Super Movie Bros, as like this show that we do normally week to week, no, that will never be a YouTube show. Movie Cocktail Podcast, however, that's another thing. There are some ideas out there.
It could be a twist to it.
We need to find the time to film them, the ability to edit them, and basically, produce them in the quality that we would want to put on YouTube. But really, the idea would be to film a 10 to 15 minute long episode of a movie cocktail where we would basically discuss a film, show you how to make the original cocktail all in one episode, but we have to find a way to make it entertaining and fun, and not just like, Rachel Ray, how do you make this drink after we just made some pasta? There it is, blah.
That's hard to do.
It's
there's a lot of editing, and that's probably hard to do as far as...
Exactly. And then it all comes down, unfortunately, on me, which I will already be editing a weekly podcast, as well as editing those videos, as well as it's a lot of work that I don't necessarily have the time for right now. However, it's something that we do want to do, and it's something that is
hopefully
possible for the future. And I've been in talks with Mark from Cult Movie Cult to work with me on doing that. I just have to find the right time to bring that out. Also, if we were doing that, it would have to be weekly. So we need enough movie cocktails in the bank to really start doing that on a regular basis. Next is the Monster Closet Podcast. at Monster Closet PC. You're the new guy at Disney and in charge with rebooting the Solo franchise. What do you call the film and who do you cast? I have no problem with the casting that was done in Solo, so I wouldn't really redo the casting, but what I would do is I wouldn't have done a solo movie to begin with. It would have been probably a trilogy, and it would have been like Star Wars Scum and Villainy or something like that. It would have been all about the underworld. It would have involved multiple characters of ill repute within the Star Wars universe. Boba Fett, Han Solo, Bossk, Jabba the Hutt, like all those people. You could even throw your Darth Mauls in there and stuff like that, and have it be them overthrowing Darth Maul and taking the underworld back for their own in some way. However, it definitely would not have been a solo movie. That's what I would do if I was the new 10-inch dick swinging at Disney. All right, Fuzzy Dan from Who Spiked the Puns. Who was your first animated crush? I love this question. Jay, who's your first animated crush, man?
I hope this doesn't sound too weird, but as a kid, my first initial one, she was probably the first one.
So you're a little kid and you're like, oh, that's a girl without a shirt on with seashells covering her boobs. Yeah, you could be down with that.
Yeah.
Jay, mine's a whole lot weirder.
Really?
They've really over-sexualized Nala in the Lion King. No, I'm kidding. Mine was Jasmine in Aladdin. That was mine. Jasmine in Aladdin.
Good call.
The off the shoulder look.
Good call.
The bear midriff.
Very good call. I like that.
Dark features.
Yeah.
I was down with it all.
Yeah, I like that.
Down with it all. All right. Chris Brayton from the More Gooder Than podcast, our podfather, also in the Podfix Network, along with Fuzzy Dan from Who Spiked the Puns. Would you rather have the Millennium Falcon fully fueled at your disposal or have Jedi Force powers, but you're stuck on Earth? Now, here's the thing. I did ask him to specify, am I in the Star Wars universe or in our universe? Because in the Star Wars universe, Millennium Falcon fully fueled at my disposal. Done deal. No problem. That's what I want. But he did say we're in our universe. Therefore, most of our universe is unexplored. If I get in a Millennium Falcon and fly off, I'm probably flying off
into the hell you're doing.
I'm flying off into nothingness and I'm dying in space. Because as far as I know, the Millennium Falcon is not equipped with hyper sleep mode in it, where I could just sleep for a millennia while I travel the cosmos. So therefore, force powers on Earth, pulling Jay's pants down while he's on his first date, lifting girls' skirts.
To be honest, for me, either way, Chris, it would just be Jedi powers. I have no desire to be having a Millennium Falcon just fucking fueled up and ready to go in any kind of fucking time period. I don't care. I'd rather just have the Jedi powers.
All right, Jay, one final question from another Podfixed show that we have, the Weird With You podcast on Podfix. Do dolphins perceive wetness, Jay?
Such a trick question.
Is it?
Is it? I don't know. But this is something that you know that I probably definitely don't.
Well,
I feel like I'm gonna go with they do.
So here's my answer. Dolphins can not be out of water for a certain amount of time because their skin will get dried and cracked and stuff like that. So sure. If you can perceive dryness, you therefore can perceive the inverse of wetness.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can perceive dryness, you can perceive you perceive wetness. I mean that's like that's like asking, can a human, know if they're no darkness if they've never been in the dark, if lights are always on? Well, I mean, yeah, they just have to shut the lights off at some point, Right. So they may not know what wetness is until that moment that they beach themselves and they go, oh fuck, this sucks. I'm burning. What the fuck? I'm dead.
Yeah. Give me back in my water.
So that was a lot of fun. Thank everybody for sending in your questions. That was a lot of
fun. We got to do this more often. And hopefully probably in the Patreon. Send us any kind of question. We can even put it in the back burner. We can hold it. If you guys have a lot of questions, hold it for a particular segment episode until we get a certain amount, like 10 or whatever. So questions, and then we can just do a rapid fire.
Also, this was 20 to 25-ish questions that people sent us. We actually got a whole lot more. I wanted to make sure that everybody that sent us questions questions got at least theirs read, but many people sent us multiple ones. Some of those multiples that we didn't really talk about here, we might do on a Patreon episode. Also, I want to put out a call for everybody to please try to make your own movie cocktail for a film and send us the recipe. We really want to just get that going. I really want to see what everybody else has to offer. I want to know if we're as good as we think we are, man, because I think some people could probably come up with some shit that's better than we would ever thought of.
I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, so coming up next, me and Jay are going to get into our beer reviews just before we get into our game show for this evening. Welcome back, and this time we're getting into a special anniversary beer segment. It's been a long time since me and Jay have done a flight of beer together, and we have 4 Southern Tier beers that we're going to be getting into for this flight. But before we do that, we got to drop our line for our very first sponsor that we got right here on this show, and it is for Blowfish. Blowfish, they are the only FDA-approved hangover cure. It's 2 tablets. You drop it into about 8 to 12 ounces of water. You let those tablets dissolve. You drink them down after a night of drinking, and you start to feel better. So if you have a hangover, you're someone who enjoys to drink, and you go out and you party a little bit too much, you need a little bit of cure because you got to get to work on Monday. Make sure that you're heading over to www.forhangovers.com. And when you purchase your Blowfish, use the code SMBFISH for your 15% off of this hangover miracle cure. Jay, as always, man, before we get into doing any type of beer review, we gotta do a drunk scene.
Absolutely.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
So do you ladies,
Very often?
do I come here? I come here a bit. I'm here, from time to time. Do you go to school here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So I think I had a class with you.
Oh, yeah? What class?
History.
Maybe.
Yes, I think that's what it was. You don't necessarily might not remember me. I like it here. It doesn't mean because I go here I'm a genius. I am very smart. Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Good, how you doing?
You want it?
What class did you say that was?
History.
Yeah. Just history? It must have been a survey course then, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was surveys.
Right.
You should check it out. It's a good course. It's going to be a good class.
How'd you like that course?
Frankly, I found the class, rather elementary.
Elementary. I don't doubt that it was.
Yeah.
I remember that class. It was just between recess and lunch.
Clark, why don't you go away?
Why don't you relax?
Why just go away?
I'm just having fun with my new friend, that's all.
Wait, we could have a problem?
No,
I don't understand.
there's no problem here. I was just hoping you might give me some insight into the evolution of the market economy in the southern colonies. My contention is that prior to the Revolutionary War, the economic modalities, especially in the southern colonies, could most aptly be characterized as agrarian free capital.
All right, of course that's your
Hang on a
contention.
second.
You're a first-year grad student. You just got finished reading some Marxian historian, Pete Garrison probably. You're going to be convinced of that till next month when you get to James Lemon. Then you're going to be talking about how the economies of Virginia and Pennsylvania were entrepreneurial and capitalist way back in 1740. That's going to last until next year. You're going to be in here regurgitating Gordon Wood, talking about, the pre-revolutionary utopia and the capital forming effects of military mobilization.
Well, as a matter of fact, I won't, because Wood drastically underestimates the impact of social
Wood drastically underestimates the impact of social distinctions predicated upon wealth, especially inherited wealth. You got that from Vickers. Work in Essex County, page 98, right? Yeah, I read that too. Were you going to plagiarize the whole thing for us? Do you have any thoughts of your own?
God damn, I love
Mic drop
this
moment.
movie.
Yes.
Yeah. The whole, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
That's really the mic drop
That's
moment.
the mic drop moment. It comes a little ways down in this scene, but I love this scene because that is exactly like what pretentious people do. Like they pick a subject to talk about that they know a lot about to sound absolutely pretentious, like we do with movies. If we did a podcast on anything else, we would be fucking dumbasses.
Yeah.
But we know
But also,
a good amount about movies. Not genius level. We know a good amount.
But that little blip alone just shows how well written this script was from Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
The little nuances in that written little dialogue. So much words in such a short little time.
So much words. So many words.
So many words. Thank you. I could never star in this movie. I'd be the Casey Affleck role.
That's why I keep you around, Jack, because you make me feel like Ben Affleck. I'm sorry. Jesus. I'm even wrong there.
See?
That's why I keep you around, because we're both Ben Affleck. Because you make me feel like
we fall in between recess and lunch.
That's us. Yeah. People listen to us on their lunch break at work. We're the recess now.
Yeah.
But no, one of the reasons I really like this movie is not only because I love the characterization. I especially love Robin Williams.
Definitely.
I really like Ben Affleck's commitment to playing a masshole, which I feel like in real life he once was. So he plays it well. But one of the things that I really love about this film is it's two guys that wrote this film that won an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, man. They went out there and they did it, and there's some contention about who wrote more and who had what say, and who cares, man?
It really doesn't matter.
Went out there and did it, and that's that's one of the things that I really like now, doing something like this, doing something like the podcast. No matter who does what work in this, this is mine and your show, and we come in here and we do it every week, and we put ourselves into what we're putting out there, and it speaks volumes, man. And it's one of the reasons I picked this scene.
But it's really Dave's show.
It's because if we were to stand on stage, I wouldn't let you touch my statue, but I would certainly thank you in my speech.
There's only one statue, not two.
That's it. It'll give out two statues.
I'll get it for 2 weekends a year.
And if they did give you a statue, I'd knock it out of your hand and be like, bioptic. You son of a bitch. All right, Jay, we got 4 beers that we got to blow through here real quick.
Flights, yes.
Yeah, because we're
going to blow
flight.
through them real quick because we have reviewed these, not these beers, but we've reviewed Southern Tier beers
before. Yeah, I wanted to review a flight, and when we do them, we usually do all from the same brewery. And I saw this combination pack that was at my beer store, and it was all Southern Tier, and 3 of the 4 were ones I hadn't had before. So I said, fuck it, yeah, let's get that. Let's do that for the show. And I do love Southern Tier as a brewery. I do tend to love the beers that they have. So, Jay, man, you're starting it off, man. What do you got there?
They are out of Lakewood, New York, and I am starting off with the 8 Days a Week Blonde Ale. It is 4.8 alcohol by volume. I'm not normally a huge fan of blondes. I do not like this beer either that much. It's got a flat taste to it. It doesn't go down well for me. It's not very drinkable. I'd probably be hurting to finish 1 full pint of glass of this. I mean, the taster glass is fine enough, but it's a 2.5 for me because I think it's not a bad beer. It's just definitely not up my alley, and it definitely doesn't have any kind of great flavor to it.
See, so I used to dislike blondes. I used to dislike Allagash, like white ales and stuff like that. Until Rob from Fan Film Boys has been coming over here. He leaves this white ale from France here all the time, La Blanc, that he leaves here, and so sometimes I drink it. Lauren likes these blonde ales, so sometimes when I'm desperate and there's only those in the fridge, I'll grab them. I've been enjoying them a whole lot more lately. They do have a very sweet, sugary taste up front, a little bit of kind of a flat taste on the back end. You're right, but there is a balance to them, and I have learned to really enjoy them at times, especially sunny summer afternoon, man. I like them then, and this one particularly is a really good blonde ale, man. As far as blonde ales go, I would give this one a 3.5. I really like it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I still have not gotten into it. It's not my cup of tea. For me, it's pretty much middle of the road, 2.5.
Perfect. All right. So the next one up that we got here is the Citra Hopped Live from Southern Tier. This is a pale ale. It is 5.5% alcohol by volume, and this is more of a new age pale ale. This pale ale is a little bit of dry hopped, and it's obviously, based on its name, Citra hopped. It is dry hopped with Citra hops. And I rather really, really like this, man. It is super, super dry hopped up front, very smooth in the middle, finishes off with that nice, dry,
but slightly juicy kind of mouthfeel to it. And it's very drinkable. And it is really good. I do like it. I would probably personally give it a 3.5. Out of the 4, it's up there. I mean, for me, out of the 4,
I'm giving this I'm giving this a 4.5. I actually really, really like this. This is one of those perfect easy drinkers for me, man.
Oh, good.
I have beers that I like if I'm sitting around doing something and I'm not getting drunk, I'm just having a sipper. This is the type of beer that I reach for, where it's like it's not gonna tune me up or anything like that, but it really it tastes good and it packs a punch with its flavor. It's very aromatic. I really, really enjoy this pale ale. So I'm definitely giving it high praise.
Okay, I got the next up. The Tangier India Pale Ale is an ale brewed with tangerine peels. It is 4.6 alcohol by volume, and definitely you get those peel flavors going on, pretty much on the nose, but definitely in the flavor of the body of the sip. And it's just too much. It doesn't enhance the beer at all. It just tastes like tangerine peels.
Yeah, on the back end, there definitely is that oily, orangey taste, especially me and you like to make the old fashions with the orange twist in it, and we rim the glass. It tastes that.
It's a subtle thing that you need. It's a subtle thing with the peels, and they overpower it too much for this beer, unfortunately.
I think you're being a little harsh on it. I think it does marry its flavors a little bit better. It is a little bit harsher on the back end because of that tangerine peel, so it does leave you with that little bit of briny flavor. But for some people, that they really enjoy that. I'm not one of those people, but I don't think it's so overpowering that it's bad in any way. I don't think I would give it a bad score, but
no, for me it's still 2. I'm actually going to give this the same as the blonde ale, 2.5. I think it is kind of middle of the road. It's not anything that I really enjoy, but it's still fine and drinkable enough where it's pretty much middle of the road.
I think this is a 3.5 for me all the way. I don't dislike it in any way. Especially, it's one of those beers that if this is the first beer you're drinking, it's a little rough in the flavors. You got to let your palate adjust to it. But
once you get going with
once you get going, I mean, it goes down pretty smooth, man. I think they married all these flavors together. It's still pretty juicy too. It's got some good flavor to it. So the fourth one that we have here, the final one, is the Southern Tier 2-time Smash Double Indian Pale Ale. This one is 8.1% alcohol per volume. It is brewed with mosaic hops and a special pale malt. So Jay, what are you thinking on this one, man? Because this one is definitely the boldest of flavors of the 4 that we have.
It is very bold, and these are flavors that I feel like I'm not accustomed to drinking. This is actually a very unique beer because there's a lot of flavors in this beer that I have not had before.
They say that it's custom,
right? This is unique, and I'm actually liking it. It's not overpowering like a normal double IPA is, which I usually do not care for. It doesn't have that kind of 8.1 flavor of alcohol.
It doesn't have that hard alcohol bite.
No.
You know?
And I'm actually quite enjoying this. I'm actually also going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's kind of flat in some notes, like as overall at the very end, because you're not enjoying and eager to drink the next sip. Put it that way.
See, it's a little too. So for me, the only knock on it is it's a little too bitter on the back end, but it's a double IPA.
Yeah. Sure.
So just because my palate doesn't like it to be too bitter on the back end doesn't mean that that's necessarily
a lot of people love that.
A lot of people love that. I don't. I could probably drink 2 of these. 3 of these would be pushing it. But I mean, as far as the flavors go, man, I really dig it, man. I would probably wind up giving this a 4. So all of these beers, Southern Tier, like I said, they're one of my favorites. So maybe I'm being a little bit on the lenient side to them because they're one of my favorites. And of course, in this variety pack, which we aren't reviewing, is my favorite Southern Tier beer, and it's the New School IPA, man. God damn, this thing just packs a punch of flavor and aromatics. The color is beautiful. It's 6% alcohol per volume, and it's just fucking delicious. We didn't review it.
Really is.
But some people asked me during our Ask Me Anything, and I didn't answer that question because I knew we'd get into it in the beer segment. What's my beer of the year? It's fucking Southern Tier New School IPA for 100 episodes. It's that one, man. I've had many loves, and I really tried to find a flight of all my like number one beers, and I couldn't find those beers in the store. They're not always all available, but
Well, Shapes of Hops comes to mind. From,
Shape of Hops to Come was a big one.
The
Blizzard of Hops,
Blizzard
from
of Hops,
Trogs.
of course, and then the
New
other
School.
one,
Craggle Dank, baby.
Craggle Dank, baby.
And they're all very similar in flavors.
I know.
It's just me. It's just my type.
You
I'm
like
just,
your danky IPA.
just like my dank, man. I like my danky IPAs, baby. So get out there, try yourself some Southern Tier. Make sure that you're buying yourself Blowfish after you've enjoyed an entire case of Southern Tier.
Absolutely. Give it a try. Honestly, it's worth the money, and you'll definitely see the effects.
And
It's
Jay,
great.
in keeping tradition with our anniversary or milestone episodes, we got a game show coming up, baby. We're going to be
Bring it on.
joined by two of our friends, two friends who haven't been on the show before. The first one will be Shampoo from the Loot Quest podcast.
Absolutely.
Who I join on a weekly basis to role play in the Star Wars universe. It's a lot of fun. I get to play a character. And I really just want to put a spotlight on the show. I really just want people to get out there and listen to it because it's a lot of fun.
It is.
If you ever want to hear me voice act terribly, listen to that. But
Everybody knows Dave is fantastic.
it's tons of fun. And then the other person joining us is probably our first fan on the show, but he's not. It's tough to say because like I don't want to say he's like a fan as if like that diminishes him at all because I'm a fan of his. So like,
Oh, I know. We are fans of his as well. That's the thing.
So like
It goes both ways.
He's a musician. He's a rapper. He's from Hawaii. He's won his first Hawaiian Grammy, or his second Hawaii. He's won a Hawaiian Grammy.
Yes,
Like
at least one.
the dude's got some.
I'm sure he'll win more.
The dude's
down the
got
road.
some
Yeah.
fucking clout. And his music's really good. It is Italian. He's going to be joining us, and you can catch some of mine and his conversations if you follow us on Twitter. You can pop in. Feel free to chime in on any of the conversations we can have. Big Star Wars fan, just like me. So they are going to be joining us for our next segment, which is going to be Name That Film based on its foreign film title.
Motherfucker, I'm awesome. No, you're not, dude. Don't lie. I'm awesome. I'm driving around in my mom's ride. I'm awesome. A quarter of my life gone by, and I met all my friends online. Motherfucker, I'm awesome.
Welcome, everybody, to the second annual SMB Game Show. Last year, we had a little game show called Never Have I Liked It, and we're going to be doing it again, except this time, brand new game, all new players, except for Jay is going to lose, as he always does. Tonight's game is Guess the Film based on its foreign title, and I got 3 contestants with me tonight. First, in the loser corner is my co-host Jay. How you doing, Jay?
Hello, guys. Thanks. Happy to be back. Hopefully, we'll win this time.
You sound hopeful, Jay. I don't think that's going to last.
I have to be optimistic.
We will see. I will do everything in my power to make that not happen. In the blue corner, joining us all the way from a tiny Pacific island state, is Ill. What is up, Italian, man? Tell everybody about yourself. Tell everybody
Sure.
what you're doing here.
Yeah, I'm a rapper from Hawaii, from the tiny island of Kauai, where we only have one movie theater. I'm really happy to be here. I'm a huge fan of the show. Working on some new music, took a break on that to come be a part of this, and I'm just so hyped to lose.
That is awesome. And obviously, Italian, you can find him anywhere that music is streamed. But
Yes,
especially
yes.
head over to Spotify, get some of them downloads. Or if you
Please.
subscribe to Apple Music, get over there and check it out. I've been checking it
Yes.
out. You're hearing his song playing right now in the audio. So if you're enjoying that, make sure you go check it out. That's the free taste. The rest of it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Definitely worth
much.
checking out. He's awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And then joining me in the red corner is Shampoo from the Loot Quest podcast. Shampoo, what brings you here with us tonight?
I'm also super excited to lose. So this is going to be a really weird game. We all just want to lose.
Jay has already established
Who's going to be the
dominance.
biggest loser tonight?
Shampoo, tell everybody about Luke Quest, what you got going on over there, man.
Sure. And Dave would know all about this. He's actually one of the player characters on the show. But Luke Quest is a actual play role-playing podcast. With an emphasis on storytelling. I tell all of the guys at the beginning of the sessions to stay in character as much as possible, do all the dialogue in character, and then at the end, I take out any out-of-character or metagaming stuff and put it all together with a bunch of special effects to try to make an immersive experience. But we have a lot of fun with it. It's pretty great. This season...
All right, calm down, Shampoo. You're scaring the straights.
That's true.
We have to break this down for everybody. What
actually
this
sounds
is,
amazing.
is it's basically Dungeons and Dragons, just because that's the most that's what everyone relates to when they think about role-playing games.
Sure.
Except it's in the Wizards of the Coast model, and it is done in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And it takes place sometime before A New Hope.
It is 7 years after the end of Revenge of the Sith.
It takes place on Tatooine, and it follows a band of criminals.
Yeah. Criminals / ne'er-do-wells / bounty hunters of ambiguous morality.
Just 3 individuals in the Star Wars universe looking for some cheddar.
Yeah, they're just trying to make ends meet at the end of the day. And they'll do whatever it takes to get there, I guess.
All right, perfect. And that is our contestants that are going to be playing with us tonight. So I hope everybody's strapped in because we are going to be getting the game started. Let's get it on. So I'm going to do this. The way this is going to work is I'm going to go around the table and I am going to start with Italian, since he is a fan of the show and probably the one out of the 4 of us who listens to the show the most, because the only time I listen to the show is when I'm editing it. Jay doesn't actually listen to the show, and Shampoo only just heard of us last week.
Yeah,
so.
I still don't know who you are.
So we're going to start with Il. All right, Il, I am going to pick a question at random here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off the foreign title of a movie, and you are going to guess the American title. If you need hints, I'm going to start dropping hints, starting with the year of the film, the director of the film, and then finally the actor that is in the film.
All right.
Are you ready, sir?
No, but let's do it.
All right.
That's
Your
a good
first
attitude.
one is Very Bad Trip, and this comes from France. Very Bad Trip, and it comes from France. Il, do you have any guesses on this one?
Could you read it in the original French? That would help me a lot.
Ici la Juvie. I got that from Muzzy.
Okay, Very Bad Trip. The Hangover?
It is 2009's The Hangover.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Awesome, man. All right. So we are going to move right over to Jay. Jay, yours comes from China, as you'll find many of these do, because most of things from English just do not translate
Not at all.
to many of the Asian languages. But
This'll get interesting.
Specifically, China is horrible.
I'd love to hear your Chinese.
Szechuan Mugu Gang Pai. That was incredibly racist.
Seems legit.
Yeah, but those are actual Chinese words that mean dinner on your plate. All right, Jay, yours is Son of Devil, and it comes from China. It is Son of Devil, and it comes from China. I see the gears turning.
Son of Devil.
All right. Well, this film came out in 1994. It was directed by none other than Ivan Reitman, the director of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. And it stars Danny DeVito.
Can I steal?
Mr. Something?
Mr. Something. Jay, is that you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Shampoo. The steal goes to you, sir. What you got?
That is Junior.
It is Junior, sir.
That's right.
So
I never saw that movie, and I think I did a long time ago, but I just never remembered that title
I couldn't
of
remember
that
either.
film for Ivan Reitman.
What are you
And with Danny DeVito.
gonna name it if it's a boy? I'm going to name him Junior. What about if it's a girl? I'm going to name her Junior.
All right, Shampoo, you are on the board along with Ill, and you haven't even been asked your first question yet, my friend.
That's going to make losing really difficult.
It's okay, I believe in you.
All right, Shampoo, this one is just for you. It comes from Israel, and it is Love is in the Sky. Love is in the Sky. This film came out in 1986, and it was directed by, may he rest in peace, the brother of Ridley Scott, Tony Scott.
Is that Top Gun?
It is
Danger Zone! Yeah!
Top Gun, my friend. You got it.
I got a need for speed.
Congratulations, my friend.
They're filming the sequel right now.
And with that, at the end of round 1, Shampoo takes the lead with 2, Ill follows up with 1, and Jay
Right where I
with
belong.
None. Exactly as this game was planned. All right. Ill, are you ready for your next one, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. The next one on here is Santa is a Pervert. And this one comes out of the Czech Republic. That is Santa is a Pervert. And it comes from the Czech Republic.
Okay, this seems like it's too easy, and I'm afraid to guess, because I'm doubting myself. Is it Bad Santa?
It is Bad Santa, sir.
Okay.
So that
It had to be.
It had to be.
It had to be.
It could have been Miracle on 34th Street. You don't know, my
The
friends.
Santa Claus.
You don't know.
Jingle all the way.
Tim Allen. Yeah.
Jingle all the way. All right. Congratulations, Ill, tying up the game. And now we're right back to Jay. Jay, this one is a title that comes from Italy, and it's Please Do Not Touch the Old Women. Please do not touch the old women from Italy. This film came out in 1967. It was directed by Mel Brooks.
Whoa.
And
Hold on.
it stars Gene Wilder.
Probably the only Mel Brooks movie that I can recall from that era might be The Producer.
It is The Producers. Springtime for Hitler. Congratulations, sir. That puts you finally on the board, much to my chagrin, as always.
I'm going to take a sip of beer for that.
All right, Shampoo, are you ready for your next one?
I am.
All right. Your next foreign title is A Very Powerful Whale Runs to Heaven from China.
No,
A very
it
powerful
can't be.
whale runs to heaven.
It can't be. Is it Free Willy?
It is Free Willy, my friend. Directed by Simon Windsor, no one knows who that is, but starring Mr. Blonde himself, Michael Madsen. So you can literally watch Michael Madsen cut a man's ear off while clowns to the left of him and jokers to the right, and then you can watch him save a whale and a young orphan boy along with a Native American.
R.I.P. Tillicum. R.I.P.
Love that movie.
All right, Shampoo, that brings you up to 3 now. So at the end of round 2, it is Italian with 2, Shampoo with 3, and Jay with 1. All right, moving on. We are back to you. Ill, are you ready for this one? This one comes from Finland. It is Rita Hayworth is the key to escape. Rita Hayworth is the key to escape.
I know that one.
It's Shampoo's favorite film. So if you tend to listen to So I Married a Movie Geek drafts, you may actually know the answer to that just by knowing that it's Shampoo's favorite film. It was made in 1994, directed by Frank Darabont, and stars Tim Robbins.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Nice.
It is The Shawshank Redemption, and I would like to tell you that Andy fought them off. I would like to tell you that, but Andy got raped right in the ass. That's exactly what happened.
Oh, man.
All right, that ties you up with Shampoo at 3. And now we're back over to Jay. Jay, are you ready for this next one?
I am.
All right, my friend. This one comes from Thailand, and it's going to be a little tough. All right?
Sounds tough.
All right. Odd Couple Wacky Trip Go Together in Time for Birth from Thailand. Odd Couple, Wacky Trip. Go Together in Time for Birth. So obviously the Taiwanese take a very literal translation of our films. Do you have a guess at all, or do I need to start giving you some hints? I knew you needed hints, you fucking pussy. Jesus Christ. This film came out in 2010. It was directed by Todd Phillips, and it stars Zach Galifianakis.
The Hangover. Wait.
Is that your guess? Jay,
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Yes.
All
yes.
right. It is not The Hangover, sir. Shampoo, do you got a steal for this man?
Starring Zach Galifianakis. Oh, is that Knocked Up? Was he in that?
It is not Knocked Up. Ill, right back to you, my friend. You get a chance to steal here. Film came out in 2010, directed by Todd Phillips, stars Zach Galifianakis.
Ah, damn it. Knocked Up was my guess. Otherwise...
That was out long before 2010.
Yeah, it's way older than that.
It all kind of... Get him to the Greek?
It is not Get Him to the Greek. Just for the record. Knocked Up came out in 2007.
What?
The Hangover came out in 2009, and Get Him to the Greek came out in 2010. So Ill was technically closest there. However, the film is due date, and I'm not gonna lie. I said Zach Galifianakis because
thinking Robert Downey Jr.
If I said Robert Downey Jr., that's a dead ringer giveaway.
I've never seen that.
So,
I saw it.
No points to anybody.
It's not special.
So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a point, thus tying me with Jay exactly where I feel like I should be. If I could just get one more, then Jay...
Your life will be complete.
Yeah, Jay will go down the biggest loser, and unfortunately for my wife, Jay will have to run around our house naked, because that's what happens when you're last place in this house, man. That's what happens.
Is that what kids are calling that these days?
Yeah, that's what kids are calling that these days.
No, Mom, I was just in last place. It's fine.
All right. Ill, you failed to steal, my friend, which would have given you the lead, but now right back to you.
All right.
This one's going to be a tough one. It comes from Spain. Jungle 2, Red Alert from Spain. Jungle 2, Red Alert from Spain. Do you have anything in your mind yet? The film came out in 1990. It was directed by Rennie Harlin. That doesn't help you at all, but this might. It stars none other than Reginald Val Johnson. No, I'm sorry, Bruce Willis. It stars Bruce Willis.
Is it Die Hard 2?
It is, sir. It is Die Hard 2.
Damn.
And with that, you take the lead, my friend. I really want to congratulate you.
I think you skipped me.
Did I?
Yeah, you went from Jay to Ill.
You did.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, we will come right back to you right now, sir. We're going to give you one of your own. So here's hoping that you can get this one, sir. This one also comes from Spain, trying to keep it even here. It's called Super High. Comes from Spain, and it's called Super High. This film came out in 2008. It was directed by David Gordon Green, and it stars none other than James Franco.
Is that Pineapple Express?
It is Pineapple Express. Congratulations, Shampoo.
The classic.
That fooled me for a second.
Thank you for catching my mistake, and that brings us right back to Jay, which is where we all want to be, because we love watching him go down in flames.
We're rooting for you, man.
Thanks. Just got to get ahead of Dave, that's all. That's all I need to do.
That's all you got to do, my friend. All right. Jay, your film comes from Mexico, and it is My Poor Little Angel. My Poor Little Angel, and the title comes from Mexico. This film came out in 1990. It was directed by Chris Columbus, and it stars Daniel Stern.
Title again?
Poor Little Angel.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
All right, Shampoo, it is back on you. Do you care to steal my friend? My Poor Little Angel from Spain came out in 1990, directed by Chris Columbus, starring Daniel Stern.
Honestly, I have no idea.
All right, we are back to you, My Poor Angel.
Oh my God.
My poor little angel.
My poor little angel. 1990?
1990. Directed by Chris Columbus and starring Daniel Stern.
I have no idea who that guy is, but
That's how I felt. I was like, I don't know who that is.
That guy.
All
Howard
right,
Stern's brother. I have no clue.
I can't give Il any more hints because you guys dealt with the same amount of hints, but if I give you a hint after he's done, we will see. Are you giving up, Il?
Okay, I don't know what it is, but since I refuse to throw away a free shot, I'm gonna guess Little Orphan Annie.
It is not Little Orphan Annie. 1990. This was the highest grossing film of 1990. It was written by John Hughes, and Daniel Stern is the guy from Bushwhacked, and he has the world's greatest scream when a spider is put on his face by young Kevin McAllister. It is Home Alone.
Wow.
Oh.
Jay, I gave you Daniel Stern because if I gave you Joe Pesci, you would have gotten it. And if I gave you Macaulay Culkin, you would have gotten it. And as always,
I give you credit.
Everybody, the game is always rigged against Jay. Always.
Now I'm in dead last place. Dave's ahead of me.
Jay, I hope you're a grower, not a shower, my friend. All right, so since Jay balked and is now so small, we move on to Shampoo. Shampoo, are you ready for your next one?
I'm ready.
This one comes from China, and it is... He's a ghost! He's a ghost.
I'm going to just take a wild guess here.
Yes.
Just in the interest of making things weird. China's weird. They like to take things literal. I'm going with M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's The Sixth Sense.
Night, you are right, my friend.
Boom. China doesn't know what hashtag spoilers mean. They're just
That's
like,
right.
what are you
That
talking
is
about?
right.
It's called He's a Ghost. What were you expecting?
So here we are now at the end of round 4, and we got Iltalian with 4, Jay with 1, Shampoo with 5, and myself with 2. All right, guys, to give Jay a sporting chance now, we are going to do, this is midway point. We're going to do 6 more rounds. That sounds about fair. 6 more rounds. That gives Jay a chance to catch up and possibly pull out a win, miraculous it as it may be.
Okay.
I kind of feel like you're like the 1980s U.S. hockey team, and Shampoo and Il are the fucking Russians, man.
I feel like I'm LeBron James burning in the finals in the championship.
But if you remember how 1980 went, my friend, Miracle pulled it out. You can have a miracle in the studio instead of a miracle on ice.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Now we come back to Iltalian. Il, are you ready, sir?
All right, let's do it.
All right. Yours comes from Russia, and it is The Illusion of Deception. The Illusion of Deception from Russia.
Okay.
I might have this.
This film came out in 2013.
2013.
It was directed by Louis Leterrier, and it stars
I know this.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Oh, Now You See Me.
It is Now
That's right.
You See Me.
Nice.
The only magic movie I can remember from
Tying it up with Shampoo.
Over there. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Jay, couldn't let you steal.
Shampoo, that steal in the first round is proven to be your field goal in an NFL game.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's keeping you ahead, man. He just tied it up.
I went for 2.
If you get your next one, man. All right. Coming right over here to Jay. Jay, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Your film title comes from Japan, and it is Electric Venus. Electric Venus, and it comes from Japan.
You better get this, Jay, because I know what it is.
Fuck. How do you know Electric Venus? Japan.
So, the film came out in 1985.
85.
It was directed by none other than John Hughes, and it stars Bill Paxton.
Oh, God.
Come on.
I know this one. We just did this.
You don't know what this is, Jay. You don't know what this is.
Weird Science.
It is Weird Science. Redemption story for Jay.
Movie cocktail homework right there, that was.
Yes. Yet somehow he missed it on the last one.
Right?
It's nice to know my brain still somewhat works.
All right. Shampoo, this next one comes here to you, my friend. This one comes straight out of Italy, and it is If You Leave Me, I'll delete you. Other interpretations see it as if you leave me, I'll destroy you. However, we have it here as if you leave me, I'll delete you, from Italy. This film came out in 2004. It was directed by Michel Gondry, and it stars Kate Winslet.
Oh, man. Because I'm such a connoisseur of Kate Winslet movies.
I do not believe she shows her boobs in this one, my friend, so you may not have seen it. Draw me like one of your French girls, Jack.
Her boobs look different in every single movie.
Only
They're
you would notice
ever-changing.
that, you absolute mongoloid freaking rapist bastard. Jesus Christ. Womanizing as always.
Fuck,
All right, Shampoo, are you giving up?
know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, we come over to Il Italian for the steal. Il, do you know this one, my friend? Came out in 2004, directed by Michel Gondry, and stars Kate Winslet.
This is just a guess. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
It is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Damn, I was about to steal something.
Giving Il Italian the lead.
Oh, man.
Congrats. Oh, boy.
All right, Il, we come right now over to you. You get to follow that up. If
All
you
right.
get this one, you got a chance, man.
Woohoo.
This one comes from Thailand. Again, very literal interpretations of our films. Zany son-in-law, zippy grandkids, sour father-in-law. And it comes from Thailand. I'll read it one more time. Zany son-in-law, zippy grandkids, sour father-in-law. And this one comes from Thailand.
Only one title comes to mind.
Yeah,
This film came out in 2010. It was directed by Paul Weitz.
Maybe not.
And it stars Robert De Niro.
Oh, maybe
Oh,
not.
yeah. Meet the Fockers.
It is not. All right. That means it goes to Jay for a steal.
Oh.
It is not Meet the Fockers. Zany son-in-law, zippy grandkids,
God, I
sour
know what it
father-in-law.
Oh, that makes me sick.
2010.
Wait, now I'm getting thrown for a loop.
Jay, I don't feel I should read anything else again.
I know.
You don't know. Just give up. Just give up. You're out of this.
Oh, no.
Directed by Paul Weitz, starring Robert De Niro. All right, Jay, I got to put you on a clock. 3 seconds. 2.
Jesus Christ.
1.
I don't know.
All right, Shampoo, coming over to you for the steal, giving you a chance to tie it up with Il. What you got, my friend?
Is it Little Fockers?
It's Little
It is the
Fockers. It's Little Fockers. God.
I never saw that
God
one.
bless those little fuckers.
By the fact that I got so excited, Jay, by Il like taking the lead so heavily, you should have known that it was at least in the Fockers, and you had a moment.
Motherfucker.
You got to know your fuckers,
I had to
Jay.
know it.
You got to know your fuckers.
Oh, dude.
Oh, God damn it.
I blew it at the crucial juncture.
You did, sir.
Of all the
I was
Fockers,
so-
I didn't see.
I was so sure. I forgot about Little Fockers.
But Shampoo, you just took another one, so that put you back in the lead, my friend. Il tied it up. You put yourself back in the lead. So congratulations, sir.
And boom goes the dynamite.
And boom goes the dynamite. Now that was Il's question.
Fuck. All right, bring it on. I'm next.
I needed you to get that one, Jay.
I'm striving for third place.
I needed you to rebound for me.
I'm in Jay's head.
My sister's engagement party was yesterday, so I got pretty plastered. Brain's not working quite
All right, Jay.
right.
I'm
yet.
going to give you a little bit of help, and I'm sure the other contestants aren't going to mind because they're way ahead of you. Just way ahead of you.
It's okay. I'm just striving for third.
Just
I just want to beat you right
ahead
now.
of
That's
you.
all I want.
This one comes from Hungary. Hungary. Gary is hung.
Well, hopefully my
Hungary.
penis is hung tonight. I don't know.
No, Jay, it's short and shriveled and hanging to the left.
Right now it is. Yeah, I'm nervous.
All right, your film title comes from Hungary. The eighth passenger is death. The eighth passenger is death. Now, this one makes so much sense, but only after you find out what its American title is. This film came out in 1979. It was directed by Ridley Scott, and it stars Tom Skerritt. The eighth passenger is death. This film came out in 1979. It was directed by Ridley Scott, and it stars Tom Skerritt.
Predator.
Oh my God.
Really?
Il, Ill,
No,
to
no.
you for the steal.
No.
To you
No.
for the steal.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, shampoo. Shampoo.
Oh.
Sorry.
I-
Shampoo.
now I feel
to you
kinda
for the
bad.
steal.
It's Alien.
It's Alien.
Alien, that's what I
Oh,
meant.
come on.
Come
on, dude.
That's what I meant. Stupid goddamn title. That's the movie I meant. Oh my god, no.
Guys, I just really want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. The game's over because I broke Jay. It's already happened. We don't need to play anymore.
Oh, this is too much.
See,
now.
that's the thing, though, Dave. Jay broke Jay this time.
Oh, dude, it's okay. I
Predator.
just did that with Little Falcons.
And I'm looking
2
at fucking
seconds ago.
Predator and Alien toys right in front of me right now.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ.
If I told you it was
fucking
probably
with my
my
head.
favorite sci-fi horror film of all time, would you have gotten it?
No, he would have.
Dude,
He would
I
have said
knew what the
Predator.
movie was. I just said the fucking wrong title. I don't know.
Jay, every year we celebrate this movie on the show.
I got
every year. You
I
should know
knew
this.
the movie.
All right, Shampoo. With that, man, that gives you now 8. And
I could
Ill, you
build
have,
up a commanding lead here.
You have 6, Ill.
Oh, man.
Jay has 2.
Can you take away a point for saying Predator there?
I really want to. And I have 2. I mean, Jay.
This was
I
a
thought
rough
with 1979, like that was a softball.
I knew the movie.
If anyone
for
says
some odd
like,
reason I mixed up the titles. I knew I thought about the right movie.
if
I
I'm
meant to say the
eavesdropping
right
on 2
title.
people and they're mentioning Ridley Scott in the year 1979,
I know.
my dick gets a little hard and I go, hey, are we talking Alien? All right.
I'm sweating like crazy now.
Shampoo, this goes to you. Congratulations on your steal, sir. We got another one for you coming right up.
Oh, man.
This one comes from France, and it is Voyage to the End of Hell. Voyage to the End of Hell. The film came out in 1978, and it was directed by Michael Cimino, and it stars, I'm going to go with someone that you admire, Christopher Walken. Film came out in 1978. It was directed by Michael Cimino.
Is that
and stars Christopher Walken.
It's not The Deer Hunter, is it?
I don't know. You're asking that in the form of a question.
It's not
I need a definite statement
fine.
from you.
I'm going with The Deer Hunter.
It is The Deer Hunter, my friend.
Damn it.
Oh, well.
Bringing you up to 9. All right, man. Oof. Shampoo, you have missed a few, but my God, you make it up in the steals.
He does.
If I win, well, thanks, Jay.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, we're going to come over here to Ill Italian now. And Ill,
All right.
are you ready for yours? It comes straight out of China, my friend.
Okay, I gotta be. Let's do this.
Mr. Cat Poop. Your title is Mr. Cat Poop from China. This film came out in 1997. It was directed by James L. Brooks, and it stars none other than Jack Nicholson. Mr. Cat Poop came out in 1997, directed by James L. Brooks, and stars Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, 1997. What the hell was Jack
Well,
Nicholson
you
doing
know
in
what they say,
1997?
Doc. When you got that pink little beaver in your face, it doesn't matter, does it? All right, Ill, you as always like to say that you want to give it a shot,
Yeah,
at least
I'll
a
give
shot.
it a shot.
So,
Anyway, so
Shot in the dark, what you got, my friend?
1997, Jack Nicholson. I don't know, Batman.
oh, that was 1989, my friend.
I can't remember.
Tell me something, Ill. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? I just asked that of all my prey.
I will if it'll help me win this game.
Jay, you get a chance to steal, my friend, Mr. Cat
Do it,
Poop,
for the love of
1997.
This is pretty much easy for me. I think it's wait. Let me get the hold on. Let me get the title correct.
It's
I'm
Predator.
trying to think right now.
Are you sure?
I'm watching my words right now because it
You're
is a
not
weird
thinking
title.
of another movie.
Predator.
I think it's called As Good as It Gets.
It is as good as it gets,
that's right.
Jay. Congratulations. You're now ahead of me.
Big sigh of relief. Okay.
Big sigh. Breathe it in. So good. All right, Jay, you get a chance for a little bit more redemption. This one comes from Argentina, my friend, and it is called Vaseline from Argentina. Vaseline from Argentina.
Doesn't that just make you feel gross?
Vaseline.
This film came out in 1978. It was directed by Randall Kleiser, and it stars John Travolta.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Hey, Nicole!
Grease.
Oh, Sandy, he got it! What? It's gonna be Grease Lightning!
Hey, also, the opening song of that is totally about sexual assault.
It totally is. Did she put up a fight? I just want Danny to look at him and go, what do you mean? Like, did I rape her? Nah, but I made her go down on it, yeah.
My friend's godmother was in that movie. It's my little piece of trivia. Yeah. She was, I can't remember. One of the girls, like, she actually had a minor speaking role. I can't remember.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Did your friend's godmother put up a fight?
I'll be sure to ask.
All right. Jay, congratulations. You're now at 4, my friend, meaning you will not end in last place. Congratulations.
This is all we can really
But we
hope
still
for.
got
I mean, it is a balmy night. I wouldn't mind getting naked, but no, I'm happy.
we still got a battle here because Shampoo has 9 and Ill has 6. Jay has 4. So we have a little bit of a battle here for second place. Shampoo, you're on the board, my friend. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to retire you as champion of this game if you get this one correct, sir.
Okay.
Shampoo, this film title comes from none other than the Goose-Stepping Goons from Berlin, Germany, and the title is Full of Nuts. The title is Full of Nuts.
This isn't a porno?
From the Goose-Stepping Goons from Berlin, Germany.
Scheisse.
It was directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber. That's right, say that again. Rawson Marshall Thurber. It came out in 2004, and it stars Ben Stiller.
And it's called He's Full of Nut?
Not he, just called Full of Nuts.
Full of Nuts. And came out in what year again?
2004. I'm not even going to say the director again because let's face it, that's not helping anybody.
No. Along Came Polly.
It is not Along Came Polly. Coming
guess,
over to
though.
Ill for the steal. Ill, do you have a guess for this one? 2004, Ben Stiller.
2004. Well, it's obviously not the Meet the Parents movies. I don't know. Tropic Thunder is the only Ben Stiller movie I can even think of right now.
That was like 2007, my friend. It is not
God.
Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder, came out in 2008. Jay, a chance here. If you get one more, my friend.
I'm going to go for it. I don't know.
All right.
Dodgeball?
It is Dodgeball.
That would have been my second guess.
God.
You made me bleed my own blood.
I needed that time to think about that title. Because, Shampoo said Along Came Polly, and that was around that same time, I think.
All right.
2004.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it was 2004.
We come right back to Ill. Ill, you're coming close, man. You might actually get the tie Shampoo. All you need is another win and a steal somewhere down the line, and you got a shot, my friend.
Do it.
All right. This one comes from France, and the title is Young People Who Traverse Dimensions While Wearing Sunglasses. Comes from France, and it's young people who traverse dimensions while wearing sunglasses.
Better get this, Jay.
Yeah. The Matrix.
It is The Matrix. How did you deduce that so quickly, Ill?
That was the plot, man.
It is the plot. If they added...
There's only one movie that, the main actors are wearing sunglasses throughout, the whole film and on posters everywhere.
If they added trench coats into that title, it would have made it even more obvious. Yeah. So congratulations, Ill. All right, Ill, that put you up to 7.
Woo!
Jay's got 5. Shampoo has 9. And we are moving on to Jay. Jay, are you ready for this next one, sir?
Let's do it.
All right. God damn, I feel like this is a softball, which is why I love to watch you fail. It comes from France, and the title is Teeth from the Sea. Comes from France, and the title is Teeth from the Sea.
I'm only thinking one right now.
If you want to waste your guess before I give hints, go
No,
ahead.
I need hints.
Predator?
Just to reassure myself.
Yeah, it's Predator.
This film came out in 1975.
Jaws.
It was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Jaws.
And it stars Robert Shaw.
Yes.
And if you want to fight me on whether it stars Robert Shaw or not, he was the biggest actor at the time in that film. Go fuck yourselves. Jay, that gives you now 6. You are 1 behind Italian, and you are 3 behind Shampoo.
I'm coming for you, Il.
It's Shampoo's turn now, sir.
How did this happen?
I better get this.
Shampoo, your title comes from Mexico, and it is dumb, but not that dumb. Comes from Mexico, and it's dumb, but not that dumb.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
This film came out in 1995. It was directed by Tamra Davis, and it stars none other than Bradley Whitford.
Dumb, but not that dumb.
Dumb, but not that dumb. Came out in 1995 and stars Bradley Whitford. Just for a little bit of a hint, do you know who Bradley Whitford is?
No, I have no idea who that is.
All right. He was the father in Get Out, my man.
Okay.
The father in Get Out,
Yeah,
my man.
I'm just gonna. This almost certainly isn't it, but I don't know. Dumb and Dumber.
It is not Dumb and Dumber, my friend. I didn't go with the true star.
My man.
My man. No, it's my man. My man.
My man.
My man. I didn't go with the real star of the film because that is almost too obvious for everybody. So everybody's working on the same playing field now. Il, it's to you to steal, man. Dumb.
For Il.
But not that dumb, my man. And it's from Mexico,
God
and it came out in
damn it.
1995.
I'm an idiot.
Do you have a guess for me?
I really don't know. I'm going to take a guess. Ace Ventura.
It is not Ace Ventura. Jay, we come right back to you, my friend, for your steal. It's your chance. You will tie Italian and possibly even go for second place in this game. Come on. What you got? He's dumb, but he's not that dumb. Bradley Whitford, my man.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
Boy, am I glad I called that guy.
You're really
like
trying to hand it to him here.
Oh my God, I know. I'm trying to make this a sporting game because, like, if we tie this up, there's one more round.
Wait.
and there's a possibility
Ace Ventura?
they already said that.
No,
Are you kidding me?
that counts. That counts.
Oh
my God.
I thought he couldn't.
My
top
first guess was
Predator.
honestly
Wow.
Dumb and
No,
Dumber
it's-
too, just like with Brian. So I don't
I
even
said
know.
1995. It's Billy fucking
It's
Madison.
Billy Madison.
man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
would not
realized
get
it.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely would not
Boy,
remember
am I glad I called that guy.
that. Yeah, that didn't come to me. Wow.
That is correct.
Shit, he is in that movie. Fuck.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's the bad
Yeah.
guy, man. If I say
Chris, Dave's coming back up to me now.
I am. That's very true.
Predator.
And this one comes back to Italian. Are you ready,
Alrighty.
Il?
Yes.
This one comes from Germany, and it is Pigs and Diamonds. It's actually from Spain, Portugal, and Germany, but it's Pigs and Diamonds. The film came out in 2000. It was directed by Guy Ritchie, and it stars a lot of people, but we'll go with Brad Pitt.
I think I know this.
Oh,
Pigs and Diamonds
Brad Pitt.
came out in the year 2000, directed by Guy Ritchie, and stars Brad Pitt. Come on, Shampoo will fight you for it.
I will.
Dude.
I will fight you for it. Do you like Dags?
Last round, sir. You got to get this,
I
Il.
do,
I'm going to
I
give you
do.
10 seconds, and then I'm
Okay.
going to end it. Jay gets 3 seconds. You get 10.
Well, thank you. That's very
I
generous.
think I
of
know
you.
it.
What's he gonna do with a bloody broken caravan?
I think Jay knows it too, and it's pressuring me out. I don't know, man. I was like 8 years old when 2000 came around.
Don't feel too bad. I was only 12.
Okay, yeah, I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, I was 12, and I saw this movie. No, I was 14, and I saw this movie, though.
Okay, one more time. It was called
Pigs and Diamonds. And
and
it came out in the
Diamonds.
year 2000, directed by Guy Ritchie, and stars Brad Pitt. All
The
right, man.
actual title doesn't really do you any favors. It's really the Brad Pitt and Guy Ritchie thing in a year is.
All right, dude, you're down to 5 seconds.
I don't know.
3, 2, need a guess.
Fight Club.
Oh, so close, sir. Came out 1 year after Fight Club. Fight Club was in 1999. It was directed by David Fincher, and it starred Brad Pitt. But we are over to... Oh, I'm sorry. Jay gets the steal after Il. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I own this movie.
you?
Snatch.
It is Snatch. Making a game of it, Jay. Wow.
All right.
Jay
Game on.
and Italian are now tied at 7. Shampoo, you're still sitting pretty with 9, my friend. You're 2 ahead of these bozos.
Been at 9 for a minute, though.
You have. I'm not going to lie, sir. I've been throwing you tougher ones because I really want this game close. But I got another one
I'm
for
going to
you.
get this one.
All right. Jay,
Just got to start making it interesting.
this one comes from Japan, and the title is Busman. Comes from Japan, and the title is Busman.
The way you said it was like there was more. You were like, Bus Man. And that's it.
Oh, God, I need more. Thank you. Please.
All right. This film came out in 2004. It was directed by Jared Hess. And
who?
Jared Hess. And it stars John Heder. Came out in 2004.
Oh my God. I know
Directed by Jared Hess and stars John Heder.
Napoleon Dynamite?
It is Napoleon Dynamite, my friend. Jay now moves above ill.
But how did they get that title?
Because he's on the bus.
Because he goes
in
to
the
school
first,
and
like,
he's
on the
5
bus
minutes.
and they shoot the
Yeah,
cow
but still.
and stuff.
It was.
doesn't make
they,
any
they
sense.
sent it there for translation. They watched 5 minutes and they were just like,
Shampoo, it's on you now, my friend.
I'm feeling that pressure. I can't lose to
I know.
Jay.
I know. He is one behind you now.
I mean, I can only. I have to beat Jay for your
This is
sake.
the greatest
'cause
comeback known to mankind.
if Jay wins, he's going to get like a really big ego, and you're going to really struggle to keep him in check.
Oh, that will never happen. We've had those discussions. We made it to episode 100 because we've kept Jay's ego in check. But I need your help to stamp down what little bit of fire is left in Jay's belly. All right, Shampoo, yours comes from Argentina, and it is To Hell with the News from Argentina.
I want to say the obvious thing, but let's give me some more.
Okay, this film came out in 2013. It was directed by Adam McKay, and it stars Paul Rudd.
Okay, so it's not the first Anchorman, 2013.
To Hell with the News, 2013,
Anchorman
directed
2.
by... It is Anchorman 2.
Congrats. That was a good one.
Puts the nail in the coffin. Jay still can't buy a bucket. I'm going to give you one last chance to jams it in. We are going to go around the board just one more time, and let's see what happens. This is the end game, my friends. We are at the end. Jay is up on by 1 with 8. You got 7. Shampoo sitting pretty with 10, but you still have a chance to lose here, my friend, if if it goes around and everyone steals shit from you. But final fight.
I need you to get this one right.
All right, Italian. This one comes from China, and it is his great device makes him famous. His great device makes him famous. This film came out in 1997, and it stars Mark Wahlberg. It was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Boogie Nights.
It is Boogie Nights, my friend.
Yes.
Bringing it back to tie Mr. J. Congratulations, sir. All right, but you'll still get a chance to steal if both Jay and Shampoo balk on this next one.
I'll take what I can get.
All right, Jay, are you ready for this one?
Let's do it.
Now, this may sound like a Chinese title, but it actually comes from Hong Kong. So,
Totally
Big
not
dumb-
the same thing.
Big Dumb
Throw me
Monkey
for a loop.
Big Dumb Monkey Man keeps whacking tree with genitals. Big Dumb Monkey Man keeps whacking tree with genitals.
I totally know what this is based on the title alone.
This film came out in 1997, and it was directed by Sam Weissman. I think that's the second time Sam Weissman's been on this list. And you know what? I'm gonna go real easy for you. It stars Brendan Fraser.
Oh,
it's Predator.
Big Dumb Monkey Man keeps whacking tree with genitals. You gotta get to the chopper.
I think I know once again, of course, I think I know the movie, but I just can't remember the title.
10 seconds, my friend.
Holy shit.
Dum, dum,
5,
dum, 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 dum.
3, 2, 1. Need something.
Fuck.
Nothing. Jesus, man. Big Dumb Monkey Man, Wax Tree with Genitals, starring Brendan Fraser, came out in 1997. Shampoo, I'm looking at you, my friend.
That's George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle. This is what made Brendan Fraser a star, my friend. Yeah, Traffic wouldn't have happened without this film.
Isn't it weird to think that Brendan Fraser at one point was like a in-shape heartthrob?
Right?
It is weird.
And he didn't have a lazy eye then. He does now. That's weird.
Yeah, now he just looks like late-stage Marlon Brando.
All right, Shampoo. You could really just put it away here. Of course,
his career literally was only a decade long.
Yeah. Shampoo, I'm going to say if you get this one correct, game is over. And you win, my friend. Your title comes from Germany, and it is 2 jerked-off professionals. From Germany.
What?
2 jerked-off professionals. As always, saving the best for last. This film came out in 2007. It was directed by Edgar Wright, and it stars Nick Frost.
Oh, okay, so Edgar Wright.
2 jerked-off professionals came out in 2007, directed by Edgar Wright, and stars Nick Frost.
Okay, so it's going to be one of the ones with Simon Pegg, 2007. I'm really struggle bussing here to think of which one it is. I know which one it is. Give me the year one more time.
2007.
Okay, so Shaun of the Dead was before that.
Gotta put you at 10 seconds, my friend.
Hot Fuzz.
It is Hot
I knew
Fuzz.
it.
Damn it.
Putting the nail in the
damn it.
coffin. Where's the trolley boy? In the freezer. Did you say cool off? No, I didn't say anything. Shame.
I actually just saw that for the first time like 2 years ago.
Wait, you haven't seen Bad Boys 2? Congratulations, Shampoo. You are our big winner tonight. But bonus round, since Jay and the Italian are still tied, I'm going to give each of you one.
Oh boy.
No steals here, and you have to get them. We're going to start with Italian because he's the one that would be up. Yours comes from Israel, and it is super horny. Comes from Israel, and it's super horny. This film came out in 2007. It was directed by Greg Mottola. That means absolutely nothing. And it stars Jonah Hill.
2007?
2007. Don't get excited, Jay. There's no steals here.
Yeah.
This is sudden death.
Super bad?
It is super bad.
Okay, thank God. That's right.
Oh, great. Now it's all...
That's right, Jay.
Now he's going to give you the hardest question.
This is like... This is shootout in hockey, my friend.
This silent film came out in 1873.
All right, Jay. This one comes from China. Interplanetary Attack Team. Interplanetary Attack Team. This film came out in 2014. It was directed by James Gunn, and it stars Zoe Saldana.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It is Guardians of the
Do another
Galaxy.
one. Another round.
Yeah, another round.
Are we running out of questions?
No.
Okay,
no.
good.
No. All right. Reign of Falafel. Your movie is Reign of Falafel, and it comes from Israel. All right, it came out in 2009. It was directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, and it starred Bill Hader.
Okay, was it Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
It was Cloudy with the Chance
Very good.
of Meatballs. It's Raining Falafel.
At least
It's raining falafel.
At least it sort of
All
follows.
right.
I mean, that sounds delicious.
Jay, you could stay in the game here, my friend. Or you can go home the big fucking loser. The big loser.
Be polite, Jay. You gotta let your guest win.
Yours comes from Japan, and it is Grandpa Carl's Flying House.
Oh, wait. Okay. Well, I can only think of one. Believe it or not, I saw 20 minutes of it. I still need a reaffirmation of it. I need more details about that.
I feel like you don't.
I think I do.
Feel like this is super obvious.
No, I still need to.
The film came out in 2009. It had multiple directors, but Pete Docter and Bob Peterson were the main directors, and it starred none other than Mary Tyler Moore's Ed Asner.
Up?
It was Up.
Hey.
Son of a bitch. Can't end this game, motherfucker.
Overtime, round 3.
It's like shootouts in hockey, man.
Those details didn't help me. It was the only movie that came to my head.
All right.
Because I fell asleep once the house went into the sky, and I woke up and was like, oh.
God damn it, Italian. I hope that you have seen this movie, because I'm sure it'll come up in a movie homework eventually. It comes from Germany, and it is called The Unbelievable Trip in a Wacky Airplane. It was directed by Jim Abrams, David Zucker, and Jerry Zucker, and it stars Leslie Nielsen.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Oh! What is the name of this movie?
But the question is, does the Italian speak jive?
Don't overthink this, man. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, Airplane.
It is Airplane.
Airplane. That's right. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Oh my God. Coming down to the nitty gritty. Guys, all I want to do is make Jay the big loser. Can we make that happen, please? All right, Jay, your next one comes from Portugal, and it is The Relentless Exterminator. The Relentless Exterminator. This film came out in 1984.
Whoa.
You said whoa like you thought the answer was going to be Predator.
The answer may still be, it is Terminator. Son of a bitch. Shampoo, you helped him too much on that one. He was going to say Predator, and we all could have gone home. You fucker. You helped him. Why would you do that?
I feel like Jay knows that James Cameron didn't direct Predator. You know that, don't you, Jay?
All right.
I do know that. That's true. I do know.
All right, guys. This is the dead end. This is the last bit. You guys end in a tie if you don't get these. Italian, yours is Crazy and Funny Battle of the Sexes, and that title comes from Peru. Crazy and Funny Battle of the Sexes, and it comes from Peru. This film came out in 2012. It was directed by Jason Moore, and it stars everyone's American sweetheart, Anna Kendrick.
What year did it come out?
It came out in 2012.
Is it Pitch Perfect?
I bought a ticket for a one-way ride. Yeah, it's Pitch Perfect, my friends.
Thank God.
Jay, to stay alive.
All right.
This title comes from China. Mysterious Murder in Snowy Cream. Mysterious Murder in Snowy Cream.
Alien vs. Predator.
Requiem.
Wait. Yeah. What? Give me. I need more details.
This film came out in 1996. It was directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, and it stars Steve Buscemi.
Fargo.
It is Fargo.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
Ill.
Oh, dude.
I bow down to you. I cherish this moment to share this.
God damn it. I got
second place.
All right. Here we go, guys.
Oh, Dave's not satisfied.
I am not satisfied.
Dave's like, one more, and then Jay gets it, and he's like, no, we're going. We're still going.
Yours comes from Italy, and the film title is Expert in Fun. This film came out in 1986. It was directed by John Hughes, and it stars Matthew Broderick.
Oh, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Man. Congratulations, my friend.
Fighters up in here.
I know. To the death.
All right, Jay. Jay, your final one comes from Thailand. My true love will stand all outrageous events. My true love will stand all outrageous events.
I'm pretty sure that's Apocalypto. I'm pretty sure.
This film came out in 1998. It was directed by the Farrelly brothers, and it stars Matt Dillon. My True Love will stand all outrageous events.
Oh, come on, Jay.
From Thailand. 1998, directed by the Farrelly brothers, and stars Matt Dillon.
Oh, but is it that old?
There.
Something about Mary?
It is something about Mary.
Is it really that old?
Guys, what the fuck is happening here?
Wow.
Two evenly matched foes trading wits.
All right.
Battling for second place.
Thank God. I was a little worried because at first I didn't remember.
I'm ending this shit right fucking now.
Just have them buzz in with one.
All right, guys, you're going to have to shout the name out if you guys get this one.
God. Okay.
All right.
I'll just say L and I'll just say J.
I am literally down to my last two, I believe, here. So you guys probably heard most of them in practice round other than these two. So I know Jay loves this film, so that should be a hint. I'm a drunk and you're a prostitute. Comes from Hong Kong. I'm a drunk and you're a prostitute. This film came out in 1995. It stars Elizabeth Shue and it was directed by Mike Figgis. Nice.
Oh my God. Jay.
Oh man. Predator.
5.
Leaving Las Vegas.
It is Leaving Las Vegas.
No.
Son of a bitch. Italian. You have failed me, sir. You have failed me.
They thought I couldn't do it, but I pulled it out and made it to the last place at the very end.
I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to make sure that you head over to iTunes or to Podbean and you subscribe to Super Movie Brothers. You give us a listen, and if you want to on iTunes, please, we really appreciate 5-star reviews. That's what helps us get found. That's what helps us get seen on the iTunes, and that's what helps the show grow. I want to remind everybody that the Patreon will be up and running by the time that you hear this episode, and we got lots of goodies over there. Make sure that you're going over to iTunes. You're also leaving Loot Quest a 5-star review and give it a listen, because I swear to God, you will laugh your balls off.
And Italian. All over Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you stream music. He's the fucking man. And again, 100 episodes, Dave. It's amazing. So thank you everybody for listening and enjoying our show, and keep giving us feedback. We love interacting with you guys.
Shampoo and Italian, I want to thank you guys for joining us and playing this game. It was a lot of fun. Shampoo, congratulations. Your money's in the mail. Thank you for not allowing Jay to win. Last time you're ever on the show, Jay won. What are we gonna do?
I guess I gotta come back.
No. You'll get to come with me on a certain point of view at some point, because you, like me, are a huge Star Wars nerd.
Oh yes. Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good night.
Cheers.